writes me a letter, 'cause she knows it's my favorite number, and I'm her favorite one. Well, we don't know where we're going, no, but it doesn't matter, yeah, it doesn't matter, 'cause we're going towards the sun. But I see it's time to go, shine a light into the unknown, push me out so I can grow, singing I'll go, we'll grow. I write her a new song, and the birds they all sing along, not a note is out of tune. But we don't know where we're going, no, but it doesn't matter, yeah, it doesn't matter, 'cause we're going somewhere soon. Well, I see it's time to go, shine a light into the unknown, push me out so I can grow, singing I'll go, yeah, we'll grow, we'll grow. Oh, yeah, oh. Love's always easy, I'm guilty of being greedy, but I've learned to live without borders, 'cause love's always pushing forward. I've learned to live without borders, 'cause love's always pushing forward. The light has come, it's time to go, shine a light into the unknown, push me out so I can grow, singing I'll go, we'll grow, we'll grow. Are you singing as I stare from afar? I once knew someone who would sing where you are. Calling out baby, so similar sensation, similar sensation. Those melodies talking about baby, so typical sensation, typical sensation. Don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were young, girl. Innocent in our ways, we were young, girl. Nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. You don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were young, girl. Innocent in our ways, we were young, girl. Nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. Singing as I stare from afar. I once knew someone who would sing where you are. My mind is a minefield. Watch your step, that's not a threat, no. My heart is a house of cards. They had those shaky hands, they let me fall apart. And I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking, all my demons start creeping in. When
Today we're in the company of a phenomenal success story. Dean Graziosi is a multimillionaire, New York Times best-selling author.
Talking about over 1 million books sold total.
We have a living legend, Dean Graziosi.
We have a living legend when it comes to personal development.
You're talking about a man who's hundreds of millions of dollars in sales.
One of the biggest names in the history of this segment.
He's also reaching millions of people online and is live.
So much. You've impacted so many lives.
We literally booked this event because we wanted you to come speak at this event.
What I love about Dean is he's a genius at what he does, but the man, as corny as it sounds, he cares. It's easy to care verbally with your lips. He cares with the direction his feet move.
Hey guys, it's about 6 a.m. I'm on the top of Camelback Mountain.
What's up, what's up?
What's up, what's up?
What's up, what's up?
What's up, what's up? Just got done running the mountain.
Well, it's entrepreneurs like Dean that are helping make the world a better place.
What's even more remarkable is Dean
started by
dysfunctional home. He lived in a trailer.
You're a powerful, big spirit.
Sometimes it takes someone seeing in you what you don't even see in yourself.
His ability to captivate and inspire people.
And so there's so much wisdom in there.
Incredible generosity and your enthusiasm.
Give it up for Dean. The man changed my life.
What's up, guys? Happy New Year. What's up, Susan? Good to see you. Hey, Anna and Denise. Elizabeth, what's up, guys? Good to see you. Donna Marie, what's going on? Maddie. Hey, Christina. Carissa, good to have you here. He's playing full out. Adam, rocking the house over there. What's up, Noel? Gary, what's going on? Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. All right, all right. Hey, guys. Thanks for being here. This is going to be fun. It's going to be casual. And I'm really excited about this. I've been doing this. For those of you that are new, raise your hand if you're new to my world, just met me for the first time today. We got a couple people. Thank you for having faith and showing up. Tamika, good to have you here. Thanks for having faith. Let me just share a little bit about today. It is a new year. Everybody sets resolutions. We all have aspirations. We all have goals. We all want this year to be better than last year, especially all the craziness that's going on. And a lot of times we set goals, well, we call them New Year's resolutions, and they don't really stick. Who's ever had that experience before? You wanted to do more, be more, make more, impact more, lose weight, intimacy, passion, desire, want to be happier, all those things. But something happens by like February 15th. We kind of get sucked back into who we were, right? So that's why I've been doing this for almost a decade. I used to do it on January 1st, and then people were like, January 1st is hard, so that's why we're doing it January 4th. And this is what we're going to do today. We're going to spend the next 3 hours together or so, and we're going to go through a process. And I took a couple notes here. We're going to do 9 upstream thinking philosophies. Just quick little things. I'm going to back up here and share that I want to show you how you go upstream in the next couple hours and really set that foundation so your goals, your dreams, your resolutions become your reality. So we're going to have 9 upstream thinking philosophies. Then we're going to do 4 foundational shifts to lasting change, to lasting success. And lastly, we're going to go through 6 steps to set goals that stick. Now, this is going to be an awesome time. We're going to have a lot of interaction. I'm going to do a lot of hot seats. I'm going to call you out, have some exercises. We're giving away some cool gifts. Really, that's just the ethical bribe to keep you here. I didn't even know. My team just told me literally 2 days ago that we're giving away a Peloton today. How cool is that they're giving away a Peloton? Well, I guess I'm giving it away. They decided to do it, but I guess I'm paying for it. But we will give that away today live right at the end, and some other cool gifts. But you got to be on to win. But here's my goal. Is that by the time we get to the Peloton, that'll be the least valuable thing you learn today. Our whole goal today is for you to have the capabilities to crush this year. You know, before we get too far, listen, how we start the year is normally how we finish the year. And if you start the year in uncertainty, in fear, if wondering if the outside world is going to get better or shift, that might be the way you end the year. Think about how we started 2021. Didn't we end kind of 2021 the way it was started? And here's what I know. It's a crazy show out there. The outside world is kind of out of control. Can we admit this is the weirdest time in history? At least I'm 53. This is the weirdest time I've ever seen. Uncertainty's high. We have separation, people trying to push us apart. We have diversity. We have the great resignation. 80% of people are thinking of quitting their job or not knowing sure what to do, what's next. We got polarization. All of these things go on. We have a new variant that could shut down our worlds again, just like that. And depending where you live in the world or in the country, things are being shut down again. What happens to your psyche? Can we just listen? This is going to be really casual today. This is not like a 3-hour PowerPoint. These are all my notes. I obsess over my notes, guys. This is all my notes and everything I want to cover today. But do I have permission for us to just be like a bunch of friends hanging out, setting New Year's resolutions? Because that's the way I want to have this today. I'm not going to overthink it. But let me just share with you. It's okay if you feel a little off. It's okay if you're hoping 2022 is better, but you're kind of unsure if it will be. Because listen, when you have the carpet kind of pulled out from underneath you multiple times, it really dings your confidence, right? It's like COVID came, what is this thing? And then we went into lockdowns and all this stuff, and then it started getting better. And then shifts in the world, shifts in beliefs. I mean, we have the media telling you if you're vaccinated, you're amazing, and if you're not vaccinated, you're horrible, and other people saying the complete opposite, and to vax, to not to vax, to mask, to not mask, to shut down, to not shut down. I don't care where your political world lands, but all that does is create this separation and divide us when what's going to solve this is us coming together. What's going to solve the outside craziness is for us to master the inner game. The outside world is not going to gain control, and then we feel certain. The certainty starts within. Can we all agree the certainty starts inside here? The confidence starts in here. Have any of you ever watched the news, or do you think you will ever watch the news ever in your life and get done and go, I feel so much better. Things are on track. God, I can't wait to have my husband watch the news because I saw it, I feel great. No, you watch the news, you're like, we all hate each other, the world's going to hell in a handbasket, and things will never be better. Because that's ratings, right? Did you ever see that thing with Time Magazine? That 50 years ago, Time Magazine, the cover was 85% positive, right? Things are going good. And they realized over time, the more negative the covers got, the more the magazines sold. And you fast forward 50 years, and now covers of magazines are more 90% negative because people pick them up more. That's headlines. That's Facebook stories. That's news stories. They'd rather tell you, what does it say? If it bleeds, it leads, right? So we can fall into that, and we can let the outside world control us. Or we can decide right here, today, right now, that 2022 is the year we've become more bold than ever before, that we become more courageous than ever before. You know, these might just sound like words, but this is our reality. What's courage? Courage is moving forward even though you're a little scared. Courage is moving forward and you feel like an imposter. Courage is moving forward and you do have an uneasiness or you do have self-doubt. That's what courage is. Confidence doesn't come until you're courageous. People are looking for this whiff of confidence to hit them and go, I'm bold, I can do it. Confidence comes after you take the action, after you fall a little, get back up. Courage evolves into confidence. And that's what I want to share today. This is, listen, I'm not going to take too long. I know about a third of you are new to our world today, so I'm not going to bore you with my whole story, but I just want to share a little bit of why this is so important to me today, why this is important for me to share this, why I've been doing this for a decade in January to help my following, and so hopefully I invite those that are new. I hope that you become part of our company, become part of what we share, what we do, follow me on social, anything we can do to give you that little unfair advantage in this crazy world. If you know me, it's like my goal for the end of today is to realize that you can be the thermostat of your life, not the thermometer. I know if you're part of my family, you know I say that a lot, you've heard it before, but think about that. There are so many people in your life that you know that are a thermometer. If the news is good, they're in a good mood. If their relationship is good, they're in a good mood. If they ate good that week, they're in a good mood. The relationship is shitty, they're in a bad mood. The news was bad, they're in a bad mood. It's doom and gloom, they're doom and gloom. What are they really doing? They're just roller coastering. Whatever the outside temperature is that's how they feel. And how can that give you sustainable happiness? It's not, we have to be the thermostat. We adjust the temperature. We decide our emotions. We decide what we think about. We decide what we focus on. And when you find that level of mastery, which is only a millimeter away from where most of us are, that's when life changes forever. And the outside world doesn't matter to you. You get to be the person that controls your destiny. I know that sounds kind of like controls your destiny, but isn't that what we want? At the end of our lives, if you had a question and said someone else was in control of your emotions, your future, and your income, or congratulations, you were in control of your emotions, your future, your happiness, and your income, which one do you want? We want the second, right? So that's what we're doing here today. And I want to share how this happened to me. So we all have our stories. This isn't poor me. But as a kid, my parents were married 20 times. I moved 20 times by the time I was 19 years old. We didn't have money. I lived in a trailer park with my mom for a while. I lived in a bathroom with my dad for almost a year when there was no heat in the house. We just had a little electric heater that we could plug in and heat our little bathroom. I didn't know anything different. My dad was awesome. We figured all this stuff out, right? But all I knew is when I was really young, I watched my mom struggle. My mom's one of the sweetest women, the sweetest humans I've ever met in my life. Both my parents are hard workers. My dad's a diligent hard worker. My mom was a hard worker. But I remember being like 12 years old and saying, they're working their tails off, but they don't have anything. They're working their tails off and they keep going through relationships like crazy. They're working their tails off. I never get to see them because they're always working. And I just remember that old saying of like hard work equals success. It's like, I don't think so, because they work pretty hard. My mom worked 3 jobs to make nothing. My dad worked in a collision shop every day. And I remember just thinking, if I follow and do what they do, I'm going to get what they get. And okay, we said we'd be like family and share. One of my biggest reasons that I ran away from being a broke kid and not want to be, I didn't want to be my parents. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I love them more than life, but I didn't want their life. I didn't want their unhappiness. I didn't want some of the depression they had, some of the anger that my dad had. I didn't want that we were always running and money was everything and that's all they talked about because they didn't have enough of it. I just remember saying, I don't want that. So here's where I had a kind of an epiphany in my life. I'm in probably my mid-teens, 15 to 18, 20 years old, and I started being friends with some of the most successful people in my town that were way older than me. Dominic Affuso, Joey Noto, and Mark Miller. Mark Miller was probably 78 or 80 when I was 20. And he was a famous artist way back in the 50s, and he retired in this little town. He had this great little winery, and I just met him randomly, and I ended up buying some property of him. He gave me property with no money down. And I remember just becoming friends with them. This is where my journey, and I want to share this with you because it's really important for you today, where the journey of understanding that habits and success principles aren't these big grandiose things. They're these tiny little millimeter shifts that most people don't recognize. The little things aren't the big things. The little things are everything. And that's what I plan on covering today. But this is the first time that I can remember listening to them, and everything they said was the complete, and when I say everything they said, it wasn't like an official mentor. I'd meet them for coffee. I'd drive up to their house. I'd bring Mark Miller a bottle of wine. I probably brought him the shittiest wine. He probably knew really expensive wine, and I probably bought him some like white Zinfandel in a box or something. I don't know. But all I know is they gave me the time of day. They felt great mentoring me. They felt great like sharing. And here's what I know. Everything they said, anybody have this experience, and maybe you do with me and you can't tell other people, they were sharing stuff with me that was so different, and I was living with my dad at the time, so different than how my dad looked through the lens of life, that if I would have told my dad, he would have been like, oh, don't listen to those old, like, but here's what I know. They were the most successful people in my town, and they were really happy. And they just had these little fundamental shifts that were complete opposite of what my mom and dad were doing. And I remember as I started implementing these things, they felt odd. They felt different, but they started to work. And I started to get momentum. And by the time I was 20 years old, I had my own company and my dad was working for me. By the time I was 23, I had 27 apartments. I was building houses. I had a collision shop. I had a tow truck company. And then all of a sudden my life changed forever. That momentum led me, I never read books. I wasn't smart enough to do that, but something shifted in my mid-20s. I bought Tony Robbins' course. And all of a sudden, with that momentum that I got from these older gentlemen, by shifting my habits, my success principles, my disciplines, I became the complete polar opposite of my parents by the time I was 23, and I had more success by 24 than my parents had had their entire life combined. And then I got Tony Robbins' course, and that just changed everything. I realized learning from others who've already been there, who obsessively study, is the fastest way to your end result. And after Tony Robbins, I devoured, and I've been listening and reading books and being a part of it, and I'm blessed to be a multiple New York Times best-selling author, and to go from that to starting over 15 companies, to been blessed to do hundreds of millions of dollars in my life, and all these cool things, and be married to the love of my life, and be a parent. All of this happened, and I love the self-education industry. If you know anything about me, if you're part of our self-education industry family, I love all that. But it all started with what we're going to do today. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if today you're here because you want to fix. So many of you posted, I'm going to give away some stuff this morning too. So many of you posted so many great things on why you're here. You want to fix your relationship, find more intimacy, find you again, get your health back in shape, put your health as a priority, work on your mental health, work on your emotional intelligence, finally start that business, scale the business, not care what anybody else thinks about your dreams and goals. I read hundreds and hundreds of your posts last night. I'm not sure why you're here, but today you're here in the perfect place at the perfect time. So you're here today if you're ready to go all in. Who's ready to be more bold, to gain capabilities, to do this and stop talking about it, right? That's what I'm talking about, and that's why we're all here. So no matter where you are in life, I get it. And listen, if you ever felt like an imposter, if you ever felt like people would call you crazy for going after your dreams, then you're probably the only one here that feels that way, because none of us ever felt that way. Of course we all have. We all feel like imposters. We all have self-doubt. We all wonder if we could do more, be more, lose the weight, find the love, or make the passion come back in your relationship, or start the business, or scale the business. We all doubt ourselves. Everyone does. But who moves forward are the ones that find the mindset to move forward uncomfortably, to take uncomfortable action, to be the person that judges yourself on who you were yesterday and last year. As long as you're a better version tomorrow than yesterday, you're moving forward, right? So if you're here and you've ever had those doubts, if you've ever failed, if you've procrastinated, if you've been lazy, if you've set goals that didn't work, can I just say it like it is? Who gives a shit? That was last year. That was the old you. Excuse my language, but let's leave that person in the past. You know what I'm saying, Sharon Patterson? I see you smiling. I see you, Maurice. I see you, Doreen. Let's just leave yesterday behind us. We could start fresh. I'm not trying to give you hyperbole or fake motivation and just leave you inspired. Today, we're going to learn tactical pieces that can show you how to tap into the man or the woman God designed you to be. And that's all we can ask for. Listen, I think the biggest plight, Dale Carnegie said this, and it stuck with me forever. The biggest plight of the human race is just knowing you have more potential and not utilizing it. So all we got to do is just use up our own potential. We don't need anybody else's. We don't need to be smarter, younger, older, wiser. We just got to maximize who we are. And I've been a study of this for 27 years. When Tony Robbins changed my life, I went into this industry. I went into the self-education industry. I started writing books. You think I didn't feel like a complete pathetic loser? I wrote my first book a decade and a half ago. I had dyslexia. I had never read many books in my life. There was so many reasons I shouldn't write a book. But when you change this, nobody gets in your head. No one gets in your way. My dear friend Trent Shelton said to me once, or said we were right here training. He's a great dude. And he said, someone said, you know, I'd love to go after my dreams, but, you know, my family looks at me like I'm crazy. And Trent was right here sitting next to me, and he looked in the camera and said, how can you expect others to get your dreams and goals when God gave that to you? Man, he probably even said it better than I said it. But basically what he said is, you're looking for other people to approve of your dreams, approve of your goals, approve of who you're supposed to be. God didn't give it to them. God gave it to you. That's why you're here. They're doing something else. They might be binging out on Netflix right now. That could be more fun. Maybe you want to watch Sex and the City reruns or the Friends reruns. I don't know. But you're here because you want a bigger future. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, gave it to you. So for that, and for you taking the time and committing, I'm ready to go all in. If I'm going to go all in today, you guys ready to commit to go all in, play full out today, play like there's no one watching, play like there's no boundaries, that we can do anything we dream of? That's what we do. All right, I'm going to give 2 quick things away. because some of you played full out, we're going to give away some cool stuff throughout the day. Again, I think the prizes are going to be secondary by the time we're done, but I got 2 quick things. The first one, I have a course called the Accelerated Success Formula. It's my most favorite course. If you like today, it's a 7-module course. Pull up that slide really quick. It is an incredible course. We filmed it last year. If you have Accelerated Success Formula, put it on the chat on what an awesome program it is. It is a 7-module course you can have forever and always go back to it. It is killer. It's a $997 value, and I'm going to give one away right now to Natasha Jovanovic. Jovanovic. Hopefully I said that right. So Natasha, my team will reach out to you. I know you're on. I know they chose you. That's for playing full out in the chat. Play full out in the chat today. More stuff will go. We'll be giving away cool stuff too. And then secondly, we have an event coming up in March called the Impact Accelerator. The secret to scale your online business. It is the first annual event. It's a 3-day event. It's going to be off the charts amazing. Who in here has ever been to World Summit, been to a Tony Robbins UPW? You know, when Tony and I do an event, we go all in. This is a 3-day full immersion event. It's in March. I think they're $597 tickets. I want to give one of those away right now. We're going to give one away to Kelly Ray Brooks. Kelly Ray Brooks, congratulations. You have a ticket. And yes, today, at the end, we have other cool stuff we're giving away, but at the end, we're giving away a Peloton today. Honestly, I didn't even know about it until 2 days ago, so you can thank my team. That'll happen at the end, but now you ready to get to work? Who's ready to get to work? All right, you can pull that slide down. Okay, so I said before, I wanted to share you the 9 upstream thinking philosophies. I kind of just put 9 things down that I thought were really important, and then I made up that name of upstream thinking philosophies. I don't know what you want to call them, but what I thought through are what are the pieces that we need to foundationally make our dreams become a reality. That's what all of today is. It's how do we really make goals a reality, and how do we set them in a way that just become our existence, not just our dream. So, number 1. Okay, before we get to those, I have a note that I think is really important. I'm just going to share it with you. I shared this with you last year. This was my theme. So again, I told you this is like family. We're going to be talking in that way. Last year, I set goals with my kids every year. So I have a 15 and a 13-year-old, and I have a little 20-month-old. But every year with my older kids, and hopefully someday with little Luca, the youngest, we set New Year's resolutions, we set goals, and I do this similar process with them. At the level of 15 and a 13-year-old will want to do this. But I always come up with a theme for the year. And the theme for 2021 is the same theme that I've given to them that we've agreed on for 2022. And it's simply this. Who are you when no one is watching? If you're a part of my family, you know you've heard me say that before, but I think that's one of the greatest questions we could ask ourselves. Because you know what happens is we talk about we want more, we want to make more, we want more intimacy in our relationship. But are we doing the things when no one's watching, not to prove to anyone, not even to prove to God or the universe or whatever you believe in, to show you there is nothing, hear me, there is nothing more powerful than congruency to reach your full potential, to have confidence, to be courageous. You know, listen, we all have friends that say they want the passion back in their relationship. Does anybody here have a friend that would love passion or a connection back in a relationship, a friend that tells you? Anybody have a friend that tells you they want passion or connection in their relationship, but they're on Facebook looking up old high school boyfriends or girlfriends, DMing people when nobody's knowing? I know a couple people in my life that say they want, in front stage, they want the connection, they want the love again, but when no one's watching, they're kind of doing the stuff that derails that. People who say they want to be in the best shape of their life. This is the year. I want to be healthy. My kids deserve me to be healthy. But when no one's watching, they skip the workout, or they go to the gym, but they sit on their phone the whole time. And when they should order something a little healthier, they order something they shouldn't order. But when no one's watching, it's no big deal, right? And then they're telling their friends at lunch, I just don't know why the weight won't come off. I'm in the gym 5 days a week. I'm eating so great. BS. You're not doing the work when no one's watching. Right? You say you want that business to thrive, to go to another level, but you did all the easy parts. And now you got to dig into marketing. You got to let your friends know you're going in this business. It's a little uncomfortable, so when no one's watching, you're working on your logo or the name of your site rather than the marketing that actually gets you out there or the phone call you need to make to close the deal. But you tell your friends it's not working, but really, you're not doing the work you should be doing when no one's watching. You guys feeling me on this one? Congruency is so unbelievable, and that's where values come from. That's where character comes from. I am by far not saying I'm perfect in any shape, way, or form, but I have an obsession now, especially at this phase of my life. I want to be so congruent that if my wife, my kids put a hidden camera on me for a week and they watch it, be like, damn, he does the same stuff he talks about. I would love for you guys to see me at a restaurant having a conversation with my family. You're in the booth behind me, and you don't know that I don't know you're there, and you get done and go, damn, that's the same guy I met when we were on camera. That is so powerful. And the reason it's the theme for my kids is, listen, 15 or 13, who has kids? Right? Raise your hand if you have children. In today's world, can they pretty much do anything they want on social? I mean, they could be online, they could find porn in 2 minutes, they could do a million things. At 15, I know my daughter has friends that already drink, already do some other stuff, right? They could lie about all of it, turn off their locations and figure it out. I have to train my kids, give them the ability to understand is who you are when no one's watching, is who you really are. I said, you could act perfect in front of me, perfect in front of your teachers, but if you're doing the things when no one's watching, then that's you, God, the universe, your character. And my kids are far from perfect, but they understand core values because of that. So today, I'm taking a little longer as we start here this morning. I want to share with you that could be a theme, or come up with your own 2022 theme. But I want to do the work. When I think about that, when no one's around, I want to do the work to be a better. When no one was watching, for 4 days straight, I obsessed on what I was going to teach you today. It'll seem really easy, thing like it's just coming off my tongue. I have this whole thing laid out to get you the results you deserve, you desire, right? I did the work when no one's watching, so now when I'm front stage, it looks easy, looks amazing, but I really got my own notes and cheat sheet here. Make sense? So 2022, could we all agree to do the work when no one's watching, right? My daughter and son both pitch. They love winning games. You don't win on stage. You know when you win? You win when my daughter and son are out back. At 4:30 today, my daughter will be with her pitching coach, and she'll pitch for 2 hours. She'll pitch until her arm hurts. She does that on a regular basis, but when she goes and wins a game, it's because of what she did when no one was watching. So anyway, wanted to share that little gift there that I believe really has made a difference in my life. Okay, you ready? We're going to go over these 9 things. We're going to go over kind of quick. I'm about 15 minutes behind from where I wanted to be. So number 1. And if you guys feel like writing these things down, you can, to share with everybody else. Put them in your journal, write them down, is get and handle bigger problems in 2022. Get bigger problems. You see, if we look forward to them, if we tell ourselves, bring them on, I want bigger problems. You see, bigger problems equal bigger results. Don't wish for no problems. Did you ever hear that joke? It's a gambler who gambles nonstop, passes away. He wakes up and all of a sudden he's in a casino. He's dressed to the nines. And every time he walks up to a slot machine, he puts in money. And he pulls the handle and money comes out. He's like, oh my God, I won. He goes to another and puts money in and pulls the handle. Oh my God, I won. And he keeps going, and all of a sudden he puts money in and he's just winning every time. And he puts money in and he's winning every time. Finally, he's got this big bucket of quarters or money, and he walks up to one of the people dressed nice, and he's like, oh my God. He said, I didn't think heaven would be like this. And the guy looked at him and said, who said you're in heaven? You see, we all think we want it easy. We all think we just want we want to open the gates and all the money and the happiness and the joy just pour out. Why, when people hit lotto, do they go broke? Because they had the resources handed to them, but they never found a way to be resourceful. You see, how we get resourceful is actually understanding that problems are the path to our bigger future. So if we handle bigger problems, we get bigger results. I know it's counterintuitive, but I want to give you a lot of counterintuitive stuff today. Can I tell you something? The stress to get a deal closed. I started in real estate. I started fixing cars and in real estate 30 years ago, right? 30-something years ago. I remember the stress it took to get a deal done to make $2,000. and the worry and try to close the deal and get the buyer, and I didn't have the finances and the money, and I'd borrow money here and put some money on credit cards, all this stress. And I've also sat at a closing table where I did a $15 million deal. I just did a $14 million deal at the signing table. Got a check literally 5 weeks ago. I'm not saying that to brag. I've done multiple. I've done much bigger deals. But I want to tell you this. I've done the $1,000 deals and the multi-million-dollar deals. It's the same stress. It's the same worry. It's not more of a problem to do a $15 million deal than a $1,500 deal. I know that sounds crazy and we have to work our way up, but here's what I know. I wish someone would have told me sooner. Go out and conquer bigger problems. Solve things other people can't. Be the person that finds solutions and watch your 2022 go to another level. Don't avoid them. Go after them. Learn from them and realize that they're always going to be there. Every level brings you a new challenge. And when you're ready for it, you keep climbing the ladder. So number one is get and handle bigger problems. Number two, take ownership of all of it in 2022. Take ownership of all of it. And what do I mean by that? Can I say it like it is? No one is coming to save us. I can only talk about in depth of what I see in the politics here in America. I don't know if you think our old president was crazy or our new one's crazy. I don't care. That's your choice. But do you think there is any politician here in America or anywhere in the world that's going to come wave a magic wand and make everything perfect for us? Pay off our debt, make things better, things will go easy, no more inflation, money's fine, my debt's gone. Is anybody coming to save us? Can we just say it like it is? No one is coming. And politicians have evolved to be politicians. The only way things get better is if we take complete ownership. Listen, don't wait for permission from your husband, from your parents, from your children, from anyone. Remember, God gave it to you, not them. The universe gave it to you, not them. You see, I really believe sometimes our subconscious is really powerful. It's like this powerhouse computer. And when things don't go right, it says, it's not your fault. Your husband's not all in with you. It's not your fault. You see how crazy our president is or how crazy our president was. It's not your fault. Inflation is here. It's not your fault. We have COVID. It's not your fault. We have shutdowns. And all I know is if you even have a millimeter, a crumb of you saying, I could do this, but. If there's any but, that means you're not taking complete ownership, even if someone else let you down, even if the partner robbed all your money, even if your spouse cheated on you. I get that. And a lot of you are here for a lot of different reasons. Money, health, life, passion. What if you just took complete ownership? I chose this schlub that was unfaithful to me, right? I made this mistake. I waited too long. I accepted this. I'm not saying it's right, but here's what I want to tell you. When you decide that it's all on you, oh my God, it's so liberating. Because then it's all on you. If it wins, that's you. If it doesn't win, that's you. So in 2022, what if we decided to take ownership of all of it? Okay, that's number two, take ownership of all of it. Number three, who will you learn from, listen to, or be persuaded by in 2022? What do you think? What do you think is the most costly advice in the world? What's the most expensive advice? Let me see if anybody gets it. Somebody, probably a part of our family. There you go. Marcus, you were the first one. Noel, Susan, Sandy. We got a lot of family members. There we go. Mary and Lauren and Susan and Joanne and Andrew. Yeah, the most expensive advice in the world is bad advice. It's your broke friend telling you how to get rich. It's your single friend telling you what you should do with your relationship. Who in here has ever had an idea for an invention, something you thought the whole world would want to buy, or a business idea? Who in here has ever had an idea like that? Who in here has ever had an idea that you really felt like fired up by, and then you went and told your friend, your mom, your cousin, your husband, your wife? You felt so good about it, and you told them, and they, Michael, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Michael Davidson, right? You told them, you were all excited, and they were like, oh, that won't work. Oh, you got to get a patent. You know how much it costs to get a patent? Then you're going to try to get it on TV. Then you got to go to China and try to manufacture it. And then you got to do this. And then you got to, it probably won't work. And all you need is like a millimeter, like just enough to go, maybe it won't. And then you don't do it. Who's ever had that idea got that advice, and then a year later, 5 years later, you saw your thing on TV or on the internet making someone else a gazillion dollars. Who's ever had that experience, right? We all have in our own way, shape, or form, right? We are letting unqualified people tell us where our future should be. And the way I look at it is, I don't want anybody steering my ship. Like, I have these silly little analogies if you're meeting me for the first time, but I like things that stick. Because if I'm in a meeting or if I'm doing something and I'm like, something will pop in my head, good to see you, Sophia. The camera keeps switching. I see new people behind the camera that I recognize faces. But think about this. If something pops in your head and go, damn, I'm letting him, I'm letting her, I'm letting that thought steer my ship. Listen, at the end of our lives, let's just, again, I digress a little bit, but I want to anchor each one of these things. At the end of our lives, if you have the chance to meet with God, meet with your Maker, whatever you believe that is, do you want to give excuses on why it didn't work because you listened to other people? My mom said that wouldn't work. My husband thought that was a crazy idea. My cousin Diane said that, you need money to make money, or that men are evil, and once they cheat, every man cheats, or every man's bad. Like, I don't know what that is. But would you hate to be at the end of your life and realize that you missed out on love? You missed out on connection, missed out on that business because you took bad advice? I always think about this. I do these little tricks that maybe you think are mean, but I always think of if you met your Maker at the end of your life. Imagine if God pulled out his iPhone, because of course he's got an iPhone. Imagine God pulled out his iPhone and played you a video of the woman or man you could have been. Think about that one for a minute. Imagine seeing a 3-minute highlight reel of the love you could have had, the health you could have enjoyed, the impact you could have made on the world. Man, I think about that and it just freaking like, hell no, it's go time. Who feels like it's go time just when you hear that, right? I do not want that. I want God to be like, damn, you're a crazy bastard. You just went for it, failed miserably. Oh my God, where did you get that drive from? That's who I want to be, right? And will we fail? Of course, but I would so much rather be on the field playing and failing than being in the sidelines wearing someone else's jersey on the back of my shirt. I am not putting someone else's name on my jersey. It's Graziosi on the back, and I'm in the game, and that's in the game of life. So be careful who you get advice from. In 2022, who are you listening to? Who are you surrounding yourself to? What communities are you a part of? Look at this community that you're a part of right now. You just say, hi, I'm going all in. You got thousands of people support you, love you. Go inside the Facebook group and say, I'm looking to go to another level. I'm having a down day. You know how many people will say, it's okay, you're having a down day. Use it as fuel, right? Like, just watch who you surround yourself with. And if you have certain people that bring you down, then you got to find a way to either spend less time with them or be Teflon. Hear me on that. You must. Who we surround ourselves is who we become. That's not my saying. It's been around since the beginning of time. It's a fact. So, who will you listen to, learn from, and who will you be persuaded by? Find those that are living life where you want to live and model it. Listen, today, I'm sharing what I've learned over 30 years of going after it. I've failed miserably. I've had an ulcer in my life. I went through a divorce. I've had panic attacks. I've had anxiety attacks. I went broke once, all the way down to nothing. Had to sell the house I was living in. But I've also found real love in my life. If you guys follow me on Instagram, my wife and I don't have an Instagram relationship. I'm married to the love of my life. I fall more in love every day. My wife's here today. When she came in today, I see her. It's 5 years we've been together. She walks in a room, I feel like I'm 12 years old and I'm in love with my best friend. I love being a dad. I live in the house of my dreams. I get to fly on my own plane. I get to do all this cool stuff. I have 15 different companies. Last year, we fed 7 million people through Feeding America. Last year, we built 2 schools in Africa. Last year, I donated $600,000 of my own money to help kids in slavery through Operation Underground Railroad. And that's only some of the things we've done. I don't say that to brag. I say that because that was a kid who lived in a trailer park, who lived in a bathroom with his dad, who didn't go past high school, who got made fun of, who had parents who struggled terribly. I'm not saying, look what I've done, magic. I'm just saying what's possible when you shift the outcome, when you decide to follow people who've already done it, model people that, if you want to play great tennis, I don't care if your Aunt Edna watched every tennis match for the last 40 years, if she's never played, never won, never failed, you can't take advice from Aunt Edna. You could give her a kiss and bring her some flowers and go find someone who used to play tennis or plays tennis better than you and let them raise your bar. You know what 2022 really is? If you want another level, is raise your standards. Raise your standards. Raise what you're willing to accept for yourself and for your family. And whatever area you're trying to improve. This isn't just about money. It's about any area. Raise your standards. Raise your standards in your relationship. Raise your standards for your health. Raise your standards for your impact, your income, your career. If you expect more from yourself than anybody else would expect, life will change. You guys ready for that? Raise your standards, okay? The last one in that one is who you learn from is who will you be in proximity to, right? Find a tribe like this one, stay in it, right? Because it's easy to fall back to old habits. Okay, the next one is serve greater, listen more, and love more. Here's what I mean by that. We are in a really tough time in the world. We have to say that, right? And I know so many of you, who's in business for yourself or ready to start your own business or scale your own business? Raise your hand if you're in business or want to start a business, right? It's about 70, 80% of the people. I'm going to tell you this, even if you're in a career and you're in a job that you like, or you're going to start a business, or you're in a business, this is a time when people are uncertain. We must serve more, give more. If you have a product, make it better. If you do customer support, improve the customer support. I'm telling you, in times like this, the winners are the people that create. Now, I want you to hear the difference. What companies will go out of business are companies that are based on transactions only. Companies that will go out of business are based on transactions only compared to based on relationships. Be a relationship business owner. Be a relationship marketer. Be in relationship when you sell. No matter what your product is, no matter what your service is, when you are a relationship-focused company or individual in your company and you want to go up the ladder of your career, when you focus on relationships, when you focus on listening to others, understanding where people are rather than just transactional, things change forever. Michael Gerber's book ages ago, I remember, and I'm going to paraphrase because I read that book a decade or more ago, is I remember saying, do you know what the difference between doctors being sued and not for malpractice? Anybody remember that in Michael Gerber's book? It was ages ago I read it. You know what the difference was? 8 minutes. Doctors who spent 10 minutes or less with a client were way more likely to be sued than doctors who spent 18 minutes or more. The only determining factor was a relationship, because they come into your room, doctor comes in, if you're a relationship, how you doing? You're not feeling so good, you got a temperature, oh, I think it's this, that, and the other thing, okay, take care, and you're out. That's just a guy. Another guy comes in, says, oh my God, Isabel, how's your daughter doing? She went off to college, right? Oh, that's good, she liking college? Great. And they have a communication. 18 minutes compared to 10 is the difference between a malpractice lawsuit or not. So, if you're in business, have a career, want to expand, this is the year to serve more, love more, go deeper. Do things like, I don't know, go live on January 4th for free to help serve people at the greatest level. I want to earn your business. So many of you are a part of our company, part of our family, have our products, have our service. But every single one of you is going to leave here with value. Who already got value for being here and we haven't even started yet? We're only 48 minutes in. Who's glad you're here? Who's glad you took the time? Because I know time is the most precious commodity, and we haven't even got to some of the good stuff yet. Serve more, give more. Okay, those of you that are new, are you glad you're here? Did I earn your trust? Right? That's the kind of things we need to do in this new year, because the world needs us. Okay? Next, we're going to go through these a little quicker here. Next, be brave, be bold, be courageous. Now, I know I shared that kind of when we started, but you're going to have to be more bold this year, more courageous than any year before. You see, if you're really honest, be brave, bold, and courageous. That's what this next one is. Thank you. Thank you, Kirby and Sandy and Diane, for writing that down. But can I ask you a tough question if you want to write it in the chat? What has hesitation already cost you? Think about that one. What has hesitation already cost you? Your family doesn't need you to hesitate. Your family needs you to be bold. The world needs you to be bold. Because at the end of the day, remember what I said earlier about that conversation with your maker? Would you rather say, I hesitated, I was a little nervous, I waited? Or would you rather say, I went forward even though I was scared to death and I failed for a while? Which one would you rather choose? Would you rather choose trying and failing or hesitation and nothing? Hesitation and nothing or trying and failing? Because if you try and fail, what are you going to do next? You're going to try again. And if you fail, what are you going to do, Danielle? You're going to try again. And with Lauren, what are you going to do after that? I know Tony Robbins does this and I love it. You're going to try it again. And there's no way, if you continue trying, there's no way you don't get to the finish line. It's impossible. Those that don't get to the finish line just found a certain place where they say, enough, I'm not going to try anymore. I'm going to sit right here. And what happens? 5 years goes by just like that. So, be brave, be bold, be more courageous in 2022. Okay, next. Focus more on solutions in 2022. Focus on solutions. Again, today, some of the things I'm sharing, probably most of them, you already know. I want to be a reminder service today because the last couple of years has got us a little cloudy. Of course you need to focus on solutions. We all know that. How many people in your life you know are still stuck on the thing that went wrong? They started the business, started a real estate business in 2006, and then the economy shifted. That burned them. Never again will I go in business. Had a relationship in 2014, and that bastard cheated on me. Never again with men. They're all pigs, right? Which a lot of them are. I get it. I'm not sticking up for bad men or anyone bad, right? My whole point is sometimes when things go sideways, we focus on why the hell it happened. How could he do that? We started that partnership, and he robbed the money. We started doing business together, and she didn't stick to her. You know, what she promised. And what happens is our brain wants to focus on why it happened, whose fault, and it could happen again. You can't succeed that way. You have to train your brain to say, that sucks. And I'm sorry if any of those things happen to you. But what did I learn from it? And I got to move on. I got to focus on solutions. What I taught my kid, my son Brody needs this help more than anybody, and I remind him all the time. I call it focus on the fix. When something goes off with my son, he really wants to analyze it and think about it and like almost get sad over it. And I'm trying to slowly, and through the years, he's 13 now and he's way better, is focus on the fix. It happened. It went sideways. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but it's like if you spill a glass of milk, you could say, damn, why did that spill? Somebody put it on the carpet. It's older milk. It's going to get in. It's going to make it smell. Why would someone put it there? Is the floor uneven? You can do all those things, or you can go get a towel and a new glass of milk. It's just a different way to look at things. And I'm going to encourage you in 2022, when people let you down, it goes sideways. And what if that failure is nothing more than something you needed so you could be stronger? Have you ever met anybody super successful that didn't go through hell to get there? I haven't. Have you ever met anybody with an amazing, incredible, love, passion-filled relationship that didn't go through hell prior? I don't know, or didn't go through some tough times to figure it out. I am married to the love of my life. I do have the best relationship of, I mean, it's unbelievable I have. But I also messed up a previous relationship and felt pain and went through a divorce. I had to go through that to figure that out. I'm sorry I had to. I hope so many of you didn't have to, but I did. It's the same thing here. What if that problem, that thing that went wrong, the spilled milk, is just part of your puzzle pieces? And paraphrasing and taking from my friend Tony is, what if life happened for us, not to us? Focus on solutions in 2022. Next one. The little things are the big things. I don't need to go in that because I already kind of covered that. But remember, the little things are the big things. And what do I mean by that? We set these big resolutions, but what we're doing today is we are going upstream to anchor in all these little knobs, these little, you know, they say small hinges swing a big door. What we're talking about, these bullet points that I'm giving you today, thank you, Diane, for writing that down, the little things are the big things. That's all I'm giving you, these little shifts that you go, oh, I can't believe that. You know what? I'm going to focus on how to fix this. What can I learn from it, and how can I fix it? You know, something happens and you go, you know, I'll wait. You know, I've hesitated in the past. I'm not going to hesitate anymore. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway, right? These little things are the big things. So the reason I did that is what routines, what disciplines, what morning routines, what focus time do you need? What creative time do you need? What practicing personal growth, listening to it, setting yourself up daily for a win, right? What are these little things? Ashreen, I hope I said that right. Thank you for sharing that. I should have made slides, but you know, I got this amazing group that's sharing it. Everybody, if you want to just copy and paste and share that. But what little things can you do that move the needle in a big way, right? What is the art of Kaizen? How do you run a 1,000-mile race? One step at a time. How do you make your goals stick in 2022? One little piece at a time. What little routines can you shift? What morning habits can you shift? If you have a little habit that when you go on your phone to check your email, you get sucked in for 40 minutes just scrolling on TikTok or something like TikTok. You're like, oh, that's a funny dance. Oh, that, I didn't know it. Like, I don't know. Does it serve you? You know, sometimes we get sucked into entertainment, but it really doesn't move the needle in our life. So do you have to have a new discipline that says, hey, I could scroll for 20 minutes a day total? It's a subtle little shift. But could that give you an extra hour a day to work on the woman, the man God designed you to be, or the new business, or the marketing, or the exercise, or finding passion in your relationship, or finding a new relationship? Could it? So what disciplines? What's a morning routine that could set you up for a win? Right? What is it? Do you have creative time? Is there an hour a day, 15 minutes a day, where you just go hide someplace and you just visualize and fantasize about who you're supposed to be, what business you're supposed to start, or scaling the business, or the love in your life, or the passion, or the intimacy you want, or the friend you want to be, or the health you want to achieve? Are you taking 15 minutes for just creative time? I don't know what little shifts you need to make, but I bet you do. I bet you do. So the little things are the big things. The next one, help out even if things aren't perfect for you. You know, this one, when you help somebody who's worse off than you, man, it puts things into perspective just like that, doesn't it? I've heard so many successful people. I heard Joel Osteen say that. I don't know if you guys know who Joel is. Joel said that. I know Tony says it. So many people. I watched my friend Jamie Kern Lima, Mel Robbins. I've seen so many people say that. And it's so true. You complain about not having shoes till you meet the man with no feet. Right? So what I'm going to share is find a way to help someone who's a little less fortunate than you. And that could be $5. It could be a conversation. Could be a phone call. It could be anything. I'm not talking about changing the world. I'm talking about one little piece, because people always think when I get rich, I'm going to donate a lot to charity, right? And I believe most people end up there. I think I'm going to leave most all my money to charity, but when I go, right? I keep going back to Tone because he really, I remember him saying it. He has more time than me, so he's got some elegant one-liners. But you think I'm going to give $1 million out of 10 million. But you kind of won't give $1 million out of a 10 million if you won't give $1 out of 10. Think about that, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean to be money, right? Sometimes people just need a kind word, an arm around their shoulder, a message, a letter, a phone call, a stop and say, hey, I'm listening. Because here's what I know. One of the mechanisms to success is understanding that we are exactly where we are supposed to be. There are some people doing better, and there's lots of people doing worse. And when we help lift someone up, it automatically allows us to be grateful for where we are at this very minute. And through the lens of gratitude, stress goes away, anxiety goes away, fear goes away, worry goes away. Gratitude and all those other things that have stopped you in the past can't live at the same time. So two things happen when you help someone out who's worse off than you. You're helping someone out who's worse off than you. That's the first and best thing. The second, the byproduct is you realize that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So help others out even if things aren't perfect for you. Don't wait till the end. Why not just do it today? Okay? All right, the last one. The last one of these, I call them, what did I call them? The 9 upstream thinking philosophies. I think there's more like 10 I threw in there, but the last one is who and what over how. Now, I'm going to go a little more deeper on this later on, right? We're already an hour in. I want you to think about, instead of just how to get things done, right? When we ask how do I get on social media? I think my business would explode if I had more followers. How do I do that? How do I focus on this? How do I do marketing? How do I really get rid of this old limiting belief that's crushing me? How do I get rid of this imposter syndrome? How do I get my husband on board with me for my dreams? How can be overwhelming. But what if in 2022, you replace the word how with who? Who's already been there? Who's struggled with this same thing and came out on the other side? Who's wanting to start a business and now they're doing better? Who wanted to get in good shape, now they're in good shape? Who had a bad relationship and now they're having a good relationship? Who would be willing to share that? Who's got a course? Who's got a training? Who can you do a 3-hour live training with? Who over how? Because how can be overwhelming, but when you find the right who, you can get the path to your next level. Does that make sense? Who in here has any of my courses or training, right? Put it in the chat. Is that you got the who, right? Did we cut the time off? Did we show you the fastest path to get there, right? Right? It's like you can figure it out on your own. You can learn through trial and error, or you could say, who's already been here, and would they be willing to bridge the gap? Look at Rachel, right? So that is, and thank you for today. Thank you for allowing me to be the who that can show you a new way to set goals that stick. Thank you. This isn't something I dreamed up last night. This has been something I've been doing for over 3 decades, something I've been teaching for 10, right? So I just have mastered this because I've obsessed on it. If I whatever it is you guys obsess on, you are masterful at. Okay. You guys feeling me here? We're an hour in. You guys feeling it? You know what? Let's give a couple cool things away. Let's pick a couple random people in the chat. How about this? We'll give away. What is this prize? We have a $150 Audible gift card. Let's do up on. I see my team put up. Let's see, Elizabeth Ramdas. You got a $150 Audible gift card coming to you because I just randomly want to give out some cool stuff. Butch Phillips. Let's give it up for Butch Phillips. You're going to get a $150 Audible gift card. And my team, would you pick 2 people out of YouTube? Pick 2 people out of YouTube and put it up on the chat. All right. We're going to just give away some cool stuff just to keep it exciting. Just to keep it exciting. All right. Now let's get to work on goals. Well, actually, before we set goals, I want to go through, which I'm naming the 4 foundations to lasting success. 4 foundations to lasting success. Okay? So we got the 9 philosophies. Like, think of the 9 things, again, as the little hinges that swing big doors. You have the opportunity. Hopefully you've taken notes like crazy. I saw so many people listed those 9 up. In every chat, we have moderators in every chat, and we have someone in YouTube. Could you list those 9 things? Look at Ann Duncan just did it. You can copy and paste what Ann did so beautifully, and Ashreen, and copy and paste it in all the groups so you guys have it. So that's the 9. They're the little needle movers. And I would write those down, guys, and I would be looking at them as you move forward through this new year, okay? Now, we're going to do the 4 foundations for lasting success. Before we get to them, I got a lot of before we get to them, do you guys know what the definition of success is for you? Like right now, Diana or Christina or William, if you and I jumped in an elevator together and I was like, hey, William, nice hat. I love the Lucky hats. They're cool, right? I said, what does success mean to you? And if I said, that's a big, so what does success mean to you maybe in your relationships? What does success mean to you in your health? What does success mean to you in your family life, your income, your career, your business, right? I'm just going to encourage you, and we'll go deeper on this. We're going to fine-tune this. That's the process we're going through today. But a lot of times, I ask people that, and they really don't know. They know they don't like where they are, but they really haven't defined where they want to be. And we're going to do that today, like down to the granular part. Like some people say, I want to be happier. Like, what does that mean? I want more money. Here's $5. Is that what you wanted? Like, we have to define what success means to us. And it's different. I promise you, what you thought success, what success meant to you 5 years ago and 10 years ago is not the same now. Is success the same before you're married and after you're married? Changes, doesn't it? How about what success means to you before and after kids? Ooh, that's a big one, right? That's a big one. Success is completely different after kids. Like right now, I want to design my whole life to spend every single moment I possibly can outside of work with my 13 and 15-year-old because it's going way too quick. My daughter's in high school. It's going 100 miles an hour. She's going to be in college or off someplace before I know it. Like success means to me that I can make the choices to do what I want, when I want, how I want to do it, right? Today, I will be catching for my daughter for practice. Her coach will come over. I want to catch for her. Other people can. I want to because we bond, right? These little things are success to me. I have a success criteria for my health. I have a success criteria for my relationship. I want you to really think through that. We're not going to do that right now. That'll be part of this evolution. But one of my goals for you is at the end of this 3 hours, you're like, hell yes, I know what success means to me, and here's the path to get it. You guys up for that? All right. Okay, number one. This is the 4 foundations for lasting success. So let's start by looking backwards in 2021. Now, this is going to seem like, wow, thanks for bringing me here to depress me today, Dean. But I would love for you, and write this down, I would love for you to write down and think through what are the regrets, failures, missed opportunities, botches, mistakes, whatever you want to call it. What are the regrets, failures, mistakes, or missed opportunities that happened in 2021? Really want you to think about that. What went wrong? Where did you procrastinate? Where did you waste time? Where did you miss an opportunity? What did you try and didn't work? Really, take a moment and write this down. This is part of setting up 2022 for the win. You can't know where you're going to go until you figure out where you've been. And Daniel, Marcus, a ton. I bet you if you narrow that down, it's not a ton. And here's what I want you to think about. As we write these down, and I see so many of you writing, and I see some of you not, we all screwed up and did things wrong. Congratulations for being human. Congratulations for being human. If you're on a quest to be a better version of you, I promise mistakes are going to be made along the way. If you don't want to wear someone else's name on the back of your jersey, if you want to live life to the fullest, if you don't want to see a video at the end of your life of the woman that you could have been, then we are going to make mistakes. We are going to fail. That means that you are moving forward. If you don't have any mistakes in 2021, then I'm sorry you didn't try enough. You're playing it safe and nothing is going to change. I want you to be disturbed with inaction. You want another level of life? We got to screw up. We got to get out and step off the path. We got to get out of the norm. We got to get away from what's comfortable. You want to take the island? You have to burn the boats. And in that journey, you are going to mess up. You are going to fail. You are going to do things wrong. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, who just sold for billions of dollars. I remember one of her stories about her dad used to ask her all the time, what did you fail at today? And if she said nothing, he's like, well, you didn't push yourself. Think about that philosophy, right? What went wrong? What didn't work? Because that is the building block to who we're supposed to be. And this year, I'm going to encourage you to fail more. Fail faster. Fail bigger. Be disturbed in a bigger way. Because here's what I know. If you fail of something bigger, you learn bigger lessons. You learn bigger lessons. Howard, I know you're feeling me right now, right? It's like if you say, nothing really went wrong in 2021. then you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You're here because you want more, but you really didn't put the effort in 2021. You played it safe. How is playing it safe working out for you? You want to tell your maker at the end of your life, I played it safe? How's that going to feel? You're going to want to redo. You're going to want to do it over. You see, once you identify that, and here's what I want to do. I want to take 2 minutes here in a moment. Maybe we could play music here for a moment and when I trigger this. But I want you, when you write those down, here's what I want you to think about. I want you, the things that you wrote down that failed, didn't work, you procrastinated, what's one thing you learned from each one of the things that you said you failed? What's one thing you learned? I tried marketing this way, it didn't work. I tried this with my relationship, it didn't work. I tried that diet, it didn't work. But what did work out of it? You might have figured out what doesn't work for you. I need to exercise in a variety. Trying to do the same thing over and over doesn't work. Me, I tried counting calories one time to get in like ideal shape. I can't do it. I'm not the person that's going to figure out. I need a diet where I can just look at stuff and order it. Or I don't mean a diet like I'm dieting. I just have a regular way of eating. Exercise, I need to mix up my cardio. I can't just run on a treadmill every day. If I try to do that, I get so bored I quit. But if I go run the mountain, take a job, do the Stairmaster, I have the Peloton, it's amazing by the way, do the Peloton bike, go play racquetball, go play squash or pickleball. If I mix that up, I'll do cardio 5 days a week. If I try to just sit on a treadmill every day, it doesn't work for me. So I know that can't work. I also know in my relationship that if I work so much that I don't look my wife in the eye every day and ask her about our day and catch up and have that time with my wife and I, my wife goes to bed a little bit sad. And I realize that that doesn't work for me. I don't care that my business is big and I have hundreds of employees and I've got a million things going on. My wife, the love of my life, if I go home and just kind of dismiss her day because my stuff was bigger, then that woman doesn't look at me the way that I love the way she looks at me. So that was a little bit of a fail because we went down a road and I was starting to go down that road. I got so busy. I was running Tony's company, running my company, writing a new book, flying all over. And I'm like, baby, I love you. Got some big stuff going on. Thank you. And I'd go to bed and I watched my wife go to bed sad for about 2 months. And I didn't know why. I'm like, damn, what's going on? It's because it was all about me. I realized where I failed. All I got to do, I'm so lucky. It's so easy to be married to my wife. I just got to stop and go, I had a busy day, babe, but I missed you. What's up with you? And if we have 15 minutes of that talk, man, I got a amazing wife that looks at me like it's just the greatest thing on earth. It was a fail until I figured out what went wrong and what I learned from it, and I shifted. So I want you to think about this. I want you to take 2 minutes right now, and I just want you to write down, yeah, you failed, but what could you have learned from it? Marketing that way doesn't work. Talking to my husband that way doesn't work. This kind of exercise doesn't work. But what did I learn? I should mix it up. I should talk different. I should listen more. I should market different. I need to get more capabilities. I got to dig back into the course. Those of you got Accelerated Success Formula, got to get back in the course. Project Next, got to get back in the course. Got to get a coach. I don't know what it is, but you'll learn something from it. Let's do 2 minutes with a little bit of music. I'm probably going to talk through it, but I want you to write this down. What did you learn from it? Think about that. Can we play a little bit of like, I'm writing stuff down music? There we go, look at that. I'm writing stuff down music. That's what we got playing right now. I don't know who the owner is of this, but listen, I'm gonna just keep talking while you're writing. I failed for years with my son, I wanna be honest with you. My boy Brody. I failed for years. My daughter is the easiest human easiest human on the planet for me to parent. She's just me. We think the same, we talk the same. I never really had to yell at her, scold her. Like, I just can communicate with her. And all of a sudden I have this son, same DNA, amazing boy. And so many times my conversations with him was like oil and water. He thinks completely different. He's way smarter than me. Straight A+ student. He's got a 3.99 GPA this last quarter. And I went years, I think I was trying to make him like my daughter. I was trying to make him like me. It was a major failure. I mean it. I went to bed a lot of nights feeling disconnected to my son when he was 10, 11, 12 years old. I went years thinking, and I even went to therapy a little bit trying to figure it out. And you know what? All I was doing was trying to figure out how to make him different. What a fool I was. When I finally did this exercise and realized, you idiot, You failed at it, but what can you learn? The way you talk to him doesn't work. Trying a new way of communication. I'm not kidding you guys. About a year ago, I shifted the way I listen more. I shifted the way I talk to him. I've been as connected to that boy in a way that I could cry telling you. He's a new boy, he's flourished, and I feel like the dad who adjusted and shifted. But if I didn't write it down, that failure, if I didn't write what I learned from it or what wasn't working, I would have just been pounding a square peg into a round hole and trying to figure out why it doesn't fit. Does it make sense? So what didn't work and what can you learn from it? Just give it 30 more seconds, guys. Do you have to listen more, read more, try harder, not give up, not listen to other people, try alternative marketing strategies? You have to mix up your workout, find a new way in your busy schedule to eat better so you can feel healthier about yourself. You don't have to listen to other people. Do you have to surround yourself with other people? What did you learn from those things that didn't work out? Because some of our most valuable lessons are in those failures. Okay, guys. All right. Now, here's the cool part. You can take that timer down. Here's the cool part, okay? I want you to take those lessons. Now, you can go back. You got your notes. You know what we're talking about. You can go deeper on this. I want you to take those lessons. Ready? And I want you to have this hype. This is the whole journey of how we're going to set goals. This is why you got to stick from now all the way to the end. Yes, we're giving away a Peloton. Way more important is this journey we're going on. I promise you there's a method to my madness. You have to take the things that went wrong, identify them. We have to jot down what we can learn from them. You ready for this? Robert Glover, you ready for this? We want to take the things we learned, and I want you to have like this hypothetical line drawn in the sand. 2021 lives on this side, 2022 lives on this side. You take the things you learn from the failures, and you bring them over the line, and you leave all the other crap in 2021. Picture it this way. I read this once someplace and it stuck with me, and I'm going to paraphrase it now. But think about you have a house and it's all shelves, or a building with all shelves, and it's all the things from 2021. And you're taking what serves you. You're taking the lessons learned and you're putting them in a suitcase and you're carrying them, and then the place catches on fire. You let all the crap that didn't work burn down in 2021. You just carry out of the house or across the finish line the things you learned. Does that make sense? Because so many of you are carrying regrets. You're carrying things that went wrong. Yes, some of you screwed up on relationships. Welcome to being human. Some of you screwed up in your business. Welcome to being human. Some of you didn't eat right. You didn't take care of your health. You know you had diabetes. You still ate like shit. Okay, you did it. You want to regret and carry that forever, or you want to leave it in the past so you can become the man or the woman you were destined to be? We can't carry all the shit from our past and try to become who we're meant to be. We got to find a line in the sand. Dennis, you feeling me on this one? And we got to leave it in yesterday. That's how you identify where you are and where you need to bring it with you. You guys got that one? Okay, that was number one. Ouch. Angela, I know. This is a part of the journey, okay? Number two, the complete opposite. Here's the one that nobody does. They don't do it enough. Here, I would bet you, just because I've been doing this with others for a decade, and by the way, I love this studio. I get to see thousands of you. Like, I'll see Butch, and I get to see Julie, and I get to see so many. I get to see Howard with that beautiful setting in the background. I get to see you guys, and then it switches, and I get to see another group of people. So in front of me, it's switching all the time. So I get to see. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed we have this studio that we get to do this. But I'm going to tell you something. I get to see your faces. I know for a fact it is easier for you to figure out what you failed at in 2021 than it is to figure out your accomplishments and the things that moved you forward in 2021. All of us want to go, oh, this went wrong, and I didn't lose the weight, and I didn't fix the relationship, I didn't launch my business, I didn't get to 100 grand a month. And then you say, well, what did you accomplish? I don't think anything. right? That's the way our brain wants to tell us, you screwed up on 100 things and you got nothing done. Totally not true. Impossible. You being here today is an amazing accomplishment. You working on your personal growth. You clicking on a button and say, hey, I'm going to go register for this training. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to skip being at work. I'm going to skip all these other things. I'm going to focus on this. There are so many micro accomplishments that you've done in 2021, and we need to carry those over with us in 2022 because they're going to be the building blocks that we're going to grow bigger, faster, stronger on. So what I'd love for you to do right now is take a couple minutes, and I'd love for you to write down the things, the pieces, the elements that got you results, that move the needle, things you accomplished. I went through the course. I put my course up. I created a product. I created a service. I got my first online sale. I know what I'm going to teach people. I got my husband and I connected in a way I never have. I started working out. I started eating better. I stopped eating bread, or I stopped drinking too much soda. I quit cigarettes. There's a million things that could be on your accomplishment list that you never gave yourself credit for. So I need you to take a little time right now and write it down. You know, I had a dear friend, Sean Stevenson. I'm going to keep talking. You guys should be writing, right? I had a dear friend, Sean Stevenson. He passed away. They called him the 2-foot giant. He was born, he had broken like 175 bones in his body. When he was born, they said they'd give him 2 weeks to live. Just turn it down a little bit, Scott. They gave him 2 weeks to live, and he went on to do amazing things, and he lived to 40, and he only passed away because of a freak accident. He was in a new kind of wheelchair sitting up high, and the damn thing flipped over on him, and he passed away, and I miss him. He's been gone for a few years. Great guy. And he really impacted so many lives. He truly was a 2-foot giant. And he said 2 things that stick with me forever. 1, don't you dare dim your glow to match other people. And that stuck with me forever. Sometimes we turn down our flame so the people around us feel better. Hell no. Burn so bright that you attract people, right? But the second thing he made me do one time, I was going through something in one of my businesses, and I kind of told him, he said, can I do an exercise with you? You taught me so much, let me share this with you. I'm like, yeah, okay. I was there helping him. I was helping him lay out one of his events, and he said, can you write down 10 things cool about you? I'm like, 10 things cool about me? No, I'm not writing down 10 things cool about me. And he's like, please, would you do that for me? And I remember feeling so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, I'm a good dad. Like, we never want to praise ourselves or look at our accomplishments. We'll just say, oh, I never lost the weight. I didn't start the business. My relationship isn't good. I'm a procrastinator. I'm lazy. I'm this. We can call ourselves, we can treat ourselves so bad, but we forget to say, man, there's some things pretty cool about me. There's some things I accomplished. I went ahead and did my business even though no one in my family believed in me. I listened to a personal development book once a month. I listen to great podcasts. I help people when no one's watching. What did you do in 2022 that moved you forward? Remember, the little things become the big things. Kaizen, how do you run a 1,000-mile race? 1 step at a time. Danielle, what are some steps you took? Sheila, what are some steps you took? Tony, what are some steps you took, some accomplishments that you had in 2022? And write them down. Literally, write down some of them right now. And what I'd love for you to put by them is what are some things you can do to magnify that success? What are some things you can do to magnify that success? Right? Got to win. I did that one marketing piece and I got a sale or whatever it is. It's like, well, how can I do more of that? How can I compound that? I started having these conversations with my spouse and things are getting better. How can I do more of that? How can I put a magnifying glass on that? I started making better decisions when I go out to dinner. How can I do more of that? How can I do more of finding intimacy? How can I do more of finding the woman I was meant to be or the man I was meant to be? I lost myself in being a mom. I lost myself in being a wife. Lost myself in this career. I forgot who I am. What did I do in 2022 that reminded me who I am? I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of success. And find it in your head and go, oh, I remember when I did that weekend thing or I started that thing. Man, I need to do more of that because I felt damn good over that weekend. So I really want you to take the time and think through those things And then write down, what can you do? What can you do to magnify that? Rebecca lost 50 pounds, got married, took amazing care of my parents, purchased a business, booked a big acting job. Amazing. I reminded myself that my Creator made me and who I am. Be more conscious of my consciousness. Penny and Diane and Isabel. Learn new things daily. Love it. Look at all this. Found my self-education revolutionary family. Created an amazing course. Look at these things. Learn new things. Man, if you're not patting yourselves on the back, every single one of you, even the ones that beat yourself up the most, all have something to be thankful for and appreciate yourself for. You've all accomplished amazing things. You are here. If you're in a room like this, you are not a slacker. If you're in a room like this, you're not waiting for someone else to fix it for you. If you're in a room like this, you want more, you'll do more, and you're going to achieve more. So remind yourself of those incredible things. Sold my handmade stars. Amazing. Look at all this incredible stuff. Attended 4 Dean's events. Raised $1.5 million in my nonprofit. Do you see what's coming through here, guys? All of it. It is all just as important as the last one. But we have to remind ourselves. See, these are these subtle little foundational pieces that are not just, I want to make $1 million, I want to get the new house, I want to do this, I want love back in my relationship. Okay, there's my resolutions. Let's hope they come true. Let's hope they come true, right? It's a little bit of work. But let me just ask you something. Is your 2022 worth the next 2 hours to complete what we're doing? Is it worth it? So let's go all in. Stay excited about this. So here's what I want to do. I'm only halfway through. Now, we didn't even get to the good part yet, right? We're halfway through. We have 2 more. We have 2 more foundation to lasting success. We have 2 more of those. And then we're going to get into the 6 steps to actually set your goals. You guys up for it? Like all in, up for it. Like I'm here. I'm here. Who's glad you came? Anybody mad? Anybody think I didn't deliver to you? Anybody pissed off at me? Right? Remember, we can give more, be more, do more. This is the uncomfortable action we have to take. We have to get disturbed. If we allow 2022 to be the same as 2021, we got to get disturbed with ourselves. We got to get disturbed with inaction. Right? You're here because it's time to be bold, be brave, be courageous, and go to that next level. And I'm so excited to be starting off the new year with you guys, because here's the cool part. As I go through this with you, this is my New Year's. I'm setting my New Year's up literally with you. As I'm doing this, I have my notes. I remind myself of all these pieces because we need to. And I want to tell you, we got to keep this momentum alive. This isn't just about today, guys. This is not about today. Today's going to be an amazing 3 hours. But if I just inspire you today, if you just get motivated today, if you just take notes today, if you just think about this today, and in a week from now, you're right back into the old routine, I promise your old life will devour you. You will go exactly back where you were. Not that your life was horrible where it was, but you're here because we want another evolution. Is that true? Right? We want to grow. If we're not sliding, we're climbing. If we're not growing, we're dying. We want to, as humans, we need to grow. We need to impact more. We need to give more, be more, do more. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is stay in this game. Stay a part of this family. Stay engaged. Do whatever it takes to leave all the old in the past and unleash this next level potential in 2022. So here's what I want to do. I want to give you the opportunity right now. We're going to take just a 5-minute, maybe even a 4-minute break. I'm going to go pound an energy bar and a drink. Don't you go anywhere. We'll take a little break here in a moment. Don't go yet. But I want to give you the opportunity while we're here today. We have another 2 hours of amazing content. But I also want to give you the opportunity to be a part of my accelerated success formula. If you like what I'm teaching today, if you like being a part of this family, being a part of this community, I'm going to make this real simple for you. I created a course called the Accelerated Success Formula. If you guys, 2,200 of you are here, already have it. So if you have it, let everybody know what it's like. If you like what we're doing today, imagine, and you can pull up this slide, imagine a 6-module course that literally sets the foundation for an unstoppable mindset like we shared today. The 7 steps to a shifting roadmap, the action and implementation, and how do we make 2022 the best year ever? Now, I just want to seed this right now because I don't want anybody to miss it, because we put together a special, we do it every year, a New Year's opportunity. It's the best price, and we got some insane bonuses today. I want to let you know about it in the next couple minutes because I don't want this feeling to go away. I did this course last year. It's 30 years of my greatest success strategies, 30 years of how to shift your mind, how to unleash the inner hero, crush that inner villain, and have access to it. I want you guys to be able to go through this and have access to it and go back for the entire year. So I want to give you an opportunity today. So it's the Accelerated Success Formula. It's 7 modules, plus we have a surprise module. And then we threw in some killer bonuses that we do every January. This is a January thing. So thanks for joining us, right? You get Productivity Mastery. I have a 1-hour training on productivity that will blow your mind. If you're looking for an extra 4 or 5 hours a week to get in the game and do it, this is one of my favorite trainings of all. So you get Productivity Mastery. You have access to all of this immediately. You get the Art of Persuasion. If you guys, you don't realize, if we don't sell ourselves with our family, if we don't persuade others in business, we don't have a business. We need to learn the art of persuasion, but ethical persuasion, not persuading someone or being a hardcore salesperson. You can sell through love. You can sell through service. You can sell through stepping up and delivering more than anybody else does. And there's an elegant balance. If anybody's ever been through one of my persuasion trainings, let everybody else know in the chat what that's like. It's completely different. I don't teach sales tactics. I teach how to serve at the highest level that people say yes. 8 things to shift your business. This was a training I did last year on 8 different key points. Like today you got the 9. These are 8 different ones. It's a powerful training. I just knew you needed it in your arsenal. And last, I use journaling. Listen, everything I'm doing today is in my journal. Everything I do is a journaling process, and I have a strategy on how to journal in a way that I don't think anyone's ever taught. So here's what we have. You have the Accelerated Success Formula, where it's yours for life. You can have access to all 7 modules. You'll absolutely love it. You'll get the Productivity Mastery. You'll get the Art of Persuasion, the 8 things to shift your life and business, and my outcome journaling process, $1,385 value. We've sold this for $497 today, and I want you guys to write this down, asfcourse.com. Literally write it down so you don't miss it, because this is only available if, like, you come back in a week, this offer. You can always buy ASF, but you won't get all the bonuses and at this price. You get the Accelerated Success Formula for $297. Now, $497, not $1,300, and you get all of those bonuses. But then we did something, and we just figured this out 2 nights ago. We wanted to make it so you're like, hell yes, I have to. Of course, it comes with an unconditional money-back guarantee. But here's something we added. Because we did this, those of you who are part of Project Next, how powerful was it that we did the weekly trainings after? What we wanted to do with this is we want to make sure that you implement. If you guys are a part of Project Next, remember when you're a little stuck and all of a sudden there's a weekly training. Get your, Sam, I see you shaking your head, Ditas and Suzanne and Alexis. We wanted to do that same thing here. So what we're going to do, we've never done this before. When you get enrolled today, we're going to do 4 weeks of live training to help you keep the momentum of the course. If you just buy the course and it sticks, that's one thing. I mean, you just have the course. But when you are called, and we're right back here training me and my top coaches, calling you out, keeping you accountable, making you do the homework, then all of a sudden all the principles I'm teaching today and all the principles in the course become your new reality. Who in here is new reality if you're in Project Next? Is it a new reality? Because we stayed together for so long, right? So we want to do the same thing here. We just came up with this, and you guys will have the opportunity right here. I was on the wrong slide. Shifts that stick. We're going to do 4 weekly live trainings right here, so we continue the momentum you feel today. Then you get the course, and then we'll do weekly trainings like this for 4 weeks. And then in a month from now, I'm doing a 1-day event called The Secret to Success. You guys will all be invited. You'll see it. You'll have the opportunity to go. And we have a VIP opportunity where you'd be, some of you are VIP now. You'll be able to be in this VIP scenario, and we're going to teach how to scale your online business in 2022. The world has shifted, so we're going to do this 1-day event. So you're going to get a VIP ticket. So what did we do? We threw it all in there. You get the Accelerated Success Formula, all 7 modules. You get all 4 bonuses: Productivity Mastery, the Art of Persuasion, the top 8 things, my outcome journaling. You get the bonus of the 4-week anchor training. That's really what it is. It's staying engaged to make this real. And you get the Secret to Success VIP, all of it for $297. And literally this morning we added a 4-pay option of $87 to make sure that we have an opportunity for everybody to get enrolled. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to take a 5-minute break right now. If you want to play that reel, you can. We're going to take a 5-minute break, play a reel of some of our past students, get enrolled, and we'll be back. We're going to do two more of the foundation, and then we're going to get to the 6 steps to set goals that stick. We're going to give away more stuff, give away the Peloton. Don't you go anywhere. Go get enrolled, asfcourse.com. Be back in 5 minutes.
Most of us usually listen to the pessimists, the naysayers saying, well, no, don't take that risk. Don't do that because of this or some past experience. Dean can be that other guy over here, that optimist that says, hey, snap out of that. Don't go down that path. I want you to focus here with a simple message.
He has that ability to look you in the eye wherever you are in the world to say, I get what you're going through. Here are your challenges. Here's a step-by-step framework on how to overcome the challenges. And the best way to screw that up, if you're the other person, is to not go do it.
Dean has been an inspiration to me in so many different ways. His passions in life is truly to take somebody like me who is absolutely miserable, stressed out, and unhappy with her life as a whole, and make me into a confident, successful, and truly happy with her day-to-day life person.
He really wants to share, and he really wants to help, and to me, it's almost like he's on a mission to make a difference. And it really made me feel that somebody out there actually cared.
What Dean does that others don't do is he gives you the tools and he provides you the information to actually change your mindset around.
He's so caring and interested in each individual's path and growth as a human being. I mean, he wants to see everybody in the world, I think, grow to their highest potential.
Dean Graziosi he's the real deal. He gives value in everything that he does. That's why I love the guy and follow him, because he has exactly what I want, how I want to grow, what I want to become, and he has the tools.
He cares about people. He cares about my future. Every student that he has, he cares about them, and he cares about everybody that he meets, how he can help and improve their lives.
I could say thank you forever. I mean, really, he's helped so much, you know. I mean, Dean has been a huge part of my life the last 3 years, you know, and just helped inspire me to be a better me.
And by following him and learning it, I mean, I've gained so much confidence. I mean, it's huge. I was like the shyest person ever. We've built our business up. We're making very good income. I mean, Dean has taught me to change your whole thinking, and it changes your life. It really does. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps. I mean, because if you can change your whole outlook of what you're thinking, things do change.
There's no one else I'd rather be in a foxhole with, because he gives himself up, I mean, like body, spirit, and mind, to help you succeed.
I can't thank Dean enough for doing this for us, for everyone. Dean, thank you.
Just like to think I'm kinda tough. Sometimes I feel invincible. I feel like I got the right stuff. I feel like I'm in control. Until you got inside my head with something new. Now I can't sleep in this bed just thinking about how I'd be lost without you.
What's up, guys? Look who's here. I've been talking about it. It's my wife, Lisa. I said you were here. I wasn't lying. This is my muse, my inspiration. And she's like, what am I going to say? I'm like, just say hi. I've been talking about you so much.
I'm so embarrassed. I don't know how you guys all do this every day.
All right, I love you.
I love you.
Mwah.
Have a great day.
You want to hear the cool part? Is my wife's office. We built this building that we're in. We bought this building. And my wife owns a hair salon. That's how I met her. She was voted the top hairstylist in Arizona, like 8 out of the last 10 years. And so I made it really cool. Is we bought a building for our headquarters here, where our studio and our employees are. And then we just, on the opposite side of the building, I built her salon. So she can't get too far away from me. So when I go to work, she's here, right? So anyway, thank you guys. And thank you for all the amazing comments. I saw all the incredible comments. Those of you who got enrolled in Accelerated Success Formula, congratulations. Listen, this is all about training. I'm going to deliver massive value today. But I also wanted to give you the opportunity to keep this going, right? To get the capability so you can go back to it. And this 3 hours, I promise, I got 2 more hours going to blow your mind. But imagine having that whole course. And we're really excited about that. And yes, it's for everyone. And yes, it's about personal development and success. If you guys have ever read Millionaire Success Habits, picture that on steroids in a course, right? And that book's heading towards 1 million copies. So I'm really excited about it. And I know that when you get this, when you get it in your hands, you'll thank us. So, or thank me and the team. I just enrolled. Awesome. If you're in, let me see it in the chat. And if you're in, or if you're going to be in. And the only thing I will say, a lot of people said, is this available only now? The truth of the matter is, it's always available. But it's not available at this price with all those bonuses. And the 4 weeks we're doing is live. Like we'll be live next week and the week after and the week after. And then we do that training. So if you want to be in this group, you're going to want to do it today or tonight. Okay. Glad you're in, and so many of you are already in, so good to have you. Okay, so we did 2. Let's get right back to it. We did 2. I just named these this morning. So 2 are the foundation for lasting success. We got 2 more, and then we're going to get into the 6 steps to set goals that stick. Number 3. Now, this is one I kind of primed you guys on, so let's get back in it. Let's shake it out. Everybody sit up. Give me a little energy. Come on, I'm sitting. Let's shake it out. I see you, Chessa. Do a little stretching. We got it. Can we do a little energy here? Come on, why not have a little energy on a Tuesday afternoon? Let's celebrate our new year that's coming. Constance, thank you for putting up the 9 upstream thinking philosophies. Okay, let's get right to it. Number 3, and thank you for all you wonderful people, because I will turn this into slides next year. But the other thing too, though, I got to share this. I'm just going to digress for a second. Sometimes when you do slides, for me, it doesn't feel so personal. Like if I was just clicking slides and you were seeing them, this isn't a slide presentation. This is my life. Like, can you see my notes? This is my life. This is what I do. This is what I've obsessed on for 30 years. And I just want it to feel real and raw, because it is. And this is how I will set my intentions to be married to that beautiful woman and be a good husband and be the man she deserves and be the father and all that kind of stuff. So I digress. So thank you for writing down. Number 3 is, what stories or thoughts have held you back in 2021? Now, we talked about the things that went wrong, and we talked about the things that went right. But sometimes we need to talk about the invisible. We have to talk about the invisible. And that is, what story has made you play small? What story or thought pattern has made you sit back? You see, sometimes, without realizing it, our brain says, I thought we'd be further ahead by now. Maybe it's too late. I am getting kind of older. I don't have the energy I used to have, right? Maybe it's COVID. You know, if COVID wasn't here, I would have gotten better shape. I mean, everything's shut down. Things are weird, right? I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too broke. I'm not enough. Oh, that's a big one. It's too hard. No one supports my dreams. It takes money to make money. It takes more support. It takes more time. Listen, I don't know what the story is, and maybe you guys could share some of the stories, but if you really think back at some of the thoughts, when things get tough, when you want to go for it, when you, listen, I'm not talking about, let's just say it like it is. I'm not talking about you doing the things that are easy for you. We teach people, for those of you who are new, my obsession, my partner Tony Robbins and I, we teach people, a lot of my family members are in here in our Project Next and Mastermind.com. We teach people how to be in the knowledge industry, right? Sometimes people will do the easy part, like create their site, create the logo, create all the training, and have this beautiful site, and it's like, how to cure diabetes naturally, or how to sell better, love better, find love, how to get through menopause easier, all these great things. Because that part aligns with who they are, they can do it really quick. But then it's like, ooh, I got to start posting on social media and my friends and family are going to find out, or ooh, I think I got to shoot a video. And all of a sudden, that story is, I'm not that good. I might not be good on camera. My friends will think I'm nuts. This won't work. And all of a sudden, I'm too old. I don't know how to use this technology. All of those things start coming in. Without realizing it, you're subtly backing up and you're playing a little bit small. And those stories, as you get more successful, they're always there. At every level, we have to identify. I want you to hear me. I went from the brokest kid in my school to doing better than I ever thought possible, okay? Along that whole journey, I want to tell you, there's always a story screwing me up that I have to identify and throw out and be like, oh my God, I can't believe that one's still here. That I'm not smart enough, that people are going to figure out that I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and all these things. And once you identify the story, it sticks out like a sore thumb. I promise you there's a story or a thought pattern that 2021, and maybe the outside world, because it's so damn crazy, helped really ingrain it in you. And I'm going to encourage you to please try to find that story, uproot it. You have to identify it, and you got to write it down. Because once you write it down, you can say, I know my enemy. Right? That story. Listen, someone asked me in a podcast about a year ago, if you could meet your 17-year-old self and tell them anything, you only had a moment to talk to your 17-year-old self, what would you say? I'd say, change your story, change your life. What's going to hold you back is the story around why you can or why you can't. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. And that, you got to realize that subtle story sometimes is not the big, you can't, you're too old, you're horrible, you're this. It's like, do you really think that'll work? Do you really think I'm smart enough? Do you think the tech is too high? Do you think I could really have, love like that really doesn't exist. Being 50, can you really get in good shape? It only takes this tiny little story for you to back out enough to play small enough that it's self-fulfilling. It's self-fulfilling. See, I knew that wouldn't work. And if you go in with half the energy and you get half the results, then it's pretty much, it's self-fulfilling. It comes true, right? So I want you to think about it this way. If you were an army, right? Let me back up. That story or a story has already cost you too much. Can we just say it like it is? That story that you might be thinking of to go to even, and so many of you are so damn successful that are here. It doesn't mean you're destitute and have nothing, but I'm telling you what's holding you back. The bridge to get from where you are to where you want to be is the story you tell yourself on why you can or you can't get there. And it's not always the main story, it's these subtle stories. So I'm going to encourage you to look for the enemy, that story, that thinking pattern that's already cost you too much. It's already cost you too much. I'm not qualified to teach what I know. I don't know if I have enough experience. I might be too young. I might be too old. My husband, he will sabotage this, right? I'll tell you a quick story. And are you guys writing down what your story is? I'd love for you guys to share. I'd love for you to write it down. In fact, raise your hand if you would be willing to share a story that you told yourself in 2021 that you think held you back. Raise your hand if you'd be willing to share. You know what? Let's, in a moment here, let's pick on Chessa. She raised her hand first. But I want to tell you something really quick. So I'm going to go really fast. I had this amazing woman. I forget her name. It's probably 2 years ago. She comes on, and I call that like Chess is going to pop up. Like, so what is it you want to do? What's holding you back? I got everything ready. She was talking about her course, and she had everything seemingly. She said, but I tell myself that I just suck on camera and I just can't shoot the video. I just can't shoot a video. I want to shoot a video and I'll post it on social. And I'm like, really? So then she shares with me. And we have a philosophy that we teach, the Hook, Story, Close, Story Teach tool. We have all these cool things, right? So I'm not teaching that today. It's about personal development. But long story short, she had all of it. And she was so articulate. And she was so awesome. I could tell there was a story. There was a story behind it. So I said, okay, so I'm talking about video. And then I'm like, is there anything else? She's like, no, I just don't think I'm good on camera. And we kept talking. I said, what about this? What about your family? And then I said, what about your husband? And I saw her face kind of change a little. I'm like, so what's up with your husband? She goes, no, well, he kind of thinks, I believe, he thinks this is stupid that I'm trying this. You know, we're okay financially. I just know I want to impact more lives. I want to do bigger things. I want to do something that really calls me. I feel I'm called to serve. And he thinks it's kind of crazy. I said, have you ever shot a video around him? He goes, yeah, the last time I shot a video, he made fun of it. And I realized right there, it doesn't matter what we taught her about shooting a video. It doesn't matter if me and Tony Robbins sat right here and she was in the middle and we were coaching her. You know what's stopping her from doing the video? Is the story she tells herself. If I shoot this, my husband's going to think it's stupid. He's going to make fun of me. It's silly. There is no way in history she's ever going to shoot a video because of the story. Now, I know this is a micro of a macro, but she was telling herself that story. So we talked for 20 minutes. We came up with a strategy to get her husband to say, hey, if you love me, all I ask is for your support. He felt so, now I never talked to her again, but she talked to my team. She said her husband felt so bad. He thought he was just joking with her. It was a story that she created and manufactured. When he found out he was a great dude, he supported her. They started doing it together. She shot a video and crushed it and destroyed it. It had nothing to do with capabilities. It had nothing to do with the outside world. It had to do with this inner story. If I shoot this video, he's going to think it's stupid. When she changed that, she changed the story, she changed her life. Now that's only in a micro, but what story has stalled you or held you back in 2021? Okay, that was Chessa, right? I think I said that right. I don't see her on the screen. Can we pull her up? Everybody. Chessa,
hi.
give it up for Chessa. Come on, everybody, give it up for Chessa. Hi. All right.
Hi. Ooh, I wasn't expecting this.
Well, you raised your hand. I mean, I can't. How you doing?
Well, I was used to thankful out. I've been raising my hands, and finally, I've arrived.
Well, Happy New Year, first off.
Happy New Year, Dean. It's such an honor. This is happening. Oh my God. Thank you for this opportunity.
Are you enjoying the day?
Yes, I am. Yes. Well, I knew I was meant to be here.
Oh, well, good. Well, tell me, what's a story that you know, or a thought that you know has held you back a little bit or a lot in 2021?
Yes, well, 3 things came up for me, Dean. So first one that came up is like, I have to constantly improve myself and keep taking programs for me to feel enough so that I can deliver and be the best, consultant coach and create the best course ever. And I recognize in me that it's due to my upbringing of, in order to be enough, in order to be loved, I had to be perfect, like from my own parents.
Yep.
So it was deeply rooted.
Yeah, so I'm so proud of you for recognizing that. I'm so proud of you for recognizing that, because that's a big one, right? It's like you got to have every I dotted and every T crossed, and you make sure you know this up and down, and make sure you know every bit. It's like I have to wait for it all to be perfect, then I'll go. And the question is, Chessa, will it ever be perfect? Never.
No.
Never, right?
Never.
And think of some of the things that you figured out and that you're already amazing at. You didn't know them out of the gate. You had to learn as you go. Now, I'm the complete opposite. I'm a little crazy. I'm like the jump out of the plane and figure out how to grow wings on the way down, right? My sister would want to read every manual and figure out, if I'm jumping out of this plane, I want to make sure it's perfect. And she would be in the plane so long, the plane would finally just land and kick her out. You know what I mean? So there's two extremes, right? So let me just ask you something, and we're going to go into the next one, is this, but let me hear, how could you shift that story? How could that story shift? Meaning, like for me, here's what I say. You did one of the biggest principles I taught today. You got courses and you learned from people who've already been there. So you don't have to make so many of those mistakes. I promise you, Chessa, I've made so many damn mistakes in my life that when we create courses, you don't have to make them, right? We give you the faster path to get there. Yep. You were bold enough to raise your hand today. You're communicating in an amazing way. Do you have something, let me just ask you this. Do you have something to share with somebody that if you could have shared it with you of 10 years younger, would it have been valuable to you?
Yes.
Right? So you know in your heart you can deliver value. Is that true?
Yes.
Right? You know you care. I'm guessing you're worried making it so perfect because you truly care. You want to serve people at the highest level. Is that true?
Yes.
Now, have you already done things in your life that you were uncomfortable with, but you did it anyway, and then you weren't afraid anymore?
Yes.
Okay. We're doing good here. Have you bought courses and learned from people who've already been there?
Yes, like you.
Okay. Well, amazing. So when we look through that lens, it's really difficult because you might have your first 18 years of your life programmed by your parents that everything's got to be perfect or it's not going to work. And all of a sudden you're out there going, I'm going to try a new industry and I'm going to teach people and I'm going to market and right? Or you could say, everything I've ever done in my life, I go all in. I've learned from people who've already been there. I have something so valuable to the world. It's an industry that's exponentially growing that I could be a part of. I'm learning from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. They've been doing this for 60 years. And I'm not just saying this because I'm here, but truth is we freaking care. Like we care. Tony and I don't need to work anymore. I'm not saying that to be a jerk. We're here because this is our mission. We're doing this to the day we die. So you got two people hell-bent on changing your life who've done it. You've learned. You've done great things in your life. And you're a perfectionist, so that means you know you're going to have it great and it's time to launch. So what I want to share is we need to identify these stories, guys, and then we need to find a way to twist it on its head. Right? Give me another story that held you back.
Yeah, so another story is, I'm creating this Happiness Dream Builder course at mastermind.com. I know it's my next step, and I've done the intro because, it's the easiest thing to do for me, but then the actual meat and the module is what's been challenging and holding me back. And I recognized the thought was, I had to, it's the perfectionist syndrome up until now that I had to move to a different location, change a different environment so that I can, feel myself in a better environment. Those things came up.
So here's what I want to share. Everybody, first off, can we give it up for Chessa? Everybody, give it up for Chessa. Okay, you can take Chessa down, but I'm going to talk about Chessa here, and I'm going to share this for everyone. So here's something that's going to be hard to recognize, but I'm going to ask you, Chessa, to recognize this, and everybody else. I see so many, oh my God, everybody's relating with you, Chessa. Everybody gave you so many cheers. But here's what happens sometimes. When we feel a little insecure about moving forward, taking uncomfortable action, let's just say our next level of life, hear me, everyone, lives on the other side of uncomfortable action. Just the way it goes. You got to face that uncomfortable action, whether that's something you're afraid of, a little disturbed by, a little embarrassed by. Your next level lives over there. You got to pay the success tax. Simple as that. You have to pay the success tax of taking uncomfortable action. But here's what our subconscious does. Chessa's talking about, I got all these things ready. Can you tell she's a badass? Everybody, seriously, can you tell she's got this, right? Arshia, I think I said your name right. Like everybody's shaking their head. You can tell she's a badass. But right now, her subconscious is saying, once we get the perfect place to film, and maybe even a better camera, and we get a little better lighting, then we'll do it. That's just our subconscious giving us an excuse not to get it done today. Some of my best videos, some of my best work I've ever done, I shot on my phone while I was walking and my hand was shaking because after 5 minutes my hand gets tired and it's shaking. Some of my best videos were from that. Some of my best videos were done when I didn't have a beautiful studio. People will buy from you when they feel understood, when they know you care, when they know you have something that can shift their life. They don't care for perfection. And the fact of the matter is, we need to come up with new stories. I'm going to go right into number 4. Number 4 is create a new story in 2022 that takes that old disempowering story and makes it the wind behind your sails. We need to convert that. We need to convert that story. For Chessa, and I'm using her as an example because so many people are nodding their head, she needs to convert that story that says, if I don't film right here, right now, on my phone, where I sit, I'm actually doing a disservice to people who need what's in my head. Every day, Chessa, that you don't film your course, you're screwing someone over who's struggling with what you've already been through. You see, we're just talking because Chessa happens to be a part of our self-education industry. But Chessa, you have something right now that could bridge someone's gap to allow, listen, Accelerated Success Formula. It's a gap builder. You're here, you want another level of life. This is an amazing way to create new habits, new goals, new success habits. It's my greatest personal development course. It is the bridge to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. Chessa's building a course to help people in her industry of what she's learned to go from where they are to where they want to be. Chessa, someone's going to take 5 or 10 years to figure out what you could share with them in a course. And every day you don't have it out there, you're screwing somebody over. So what I wouldn't be thinking is the light perfect, the camera perfect. I'd be thinking, damn, here's another day someone needs me and I'm not out there. And you're going to overthink laying out your modules. I could tell your personality. You're going to think, oh my God, am I saying everything? People don't need everything. They just need to know what you know right now. And you can improve on the course. You can make it better. You can add another module. You can do it over. But I promise you, out of the gate will be the knowledge someone needs today, and then you could polish the diamond. But if it lives in your head, you're screwing people over. So what I would say to you is, how do you shift that story for 2022 and go, wow, every day that I'm not filming, I'm taking away someone's capabilities to live a faster, better life. I'm taking away my ability to serve others. And I was born to serve. Chessa, do you feel like you were born to serve? Put it in the chat, right? Look, I'm watching her face saying yes. Now, this is Chessa's story. This isn't everybody's story. Everybody's got different things. Every day you're not doing it. So how do you shift that story? Listen, I wrote a book called The Underdog Advantage because I remember being in school thinking, how the hell can I be successful? I don't have any money. I have dyslexia. Sandy's got that book. You know what I'm talking about. Julie's got that book, right? I remember thinking to myself, how the hell can I be successful? I'm not going to go to college. My parents have never made anything. I can barely read. I got a 6th grade reading level. My teacher, Miss Thompson, thinks I'm dumb. It takes money to make money. I remember all of those stories. And I'd love to say that there was this day, this epiphany, someone came to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm unique. I have no idea where it came from. But I remember there was a moment that they went from my disadvantage, they went from the anchor holding me back, and I started flipping all those stories. I remember thinking, oh, I don't have money. Mrs. Thompson, you want to make fun of me? I'm going to be the most successful person ever graduated from this school. I remember thinking, because I don't have money, I'm going to be resourceful. Think about that. If you don't have, does money alone make people successful or happy? Can we just be honest? Does Lotto make you rich forever even though you got the resources? Does Lotto make you happy? It is the biggest group of people who go broke and get the most depressed. They got the money. What happened? They had resources, not resourcefulness. I would thank God, the heavens, your creator, or the universe, whatever you believe in, for the journey that you've been on. Because I believe your journey has set you up for success. And the day we realize that that journey is the wind behind our sail, it is our underdog advantage, that we can turn, I had dyslexia, I'm writing my first book. My first book was a New York Times bestseller, right? And I almost deleted the book and almost threw it out. I was so embarrassed of it at first. But what happened was, I used resourcefulness instead of resources. I used will. I used communication. I used enthusiasm. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I don't have a vast vocabulary. Those of you who are way smarter than me, which is most of you, you can tell I use very little words. When I write little words. I don't have a vast vocabulary. But I hope I cover it with caring, passion, and enthusiasm. I hope I cover it with sincerity. That's who I am. Some of you can articulate your words way better than me. But my gift is I just love being passionate. I love being sincere. I love not having slides. I might have to follow a pattern, right? But that's me. And when you start understanding that these are our gifts, not our anchors, these are the winds behind our sail, that's when we start manipulating those stories of I can't, it's the wrong time. It's not, I can't do this because of COVID. I'm doing this because of COVID. This isn't going to work in a time where people are struggling. No, I want to make sure people struggle less because of what I want to do. I don't think I could ever be in a good relationship. My parents, I'm not joking, my parents were married 9 times. 5 for my mom, 4 for my dad. 9 marriages. Do you know when my first marriage isn't working, you know what some of the beliefs I had is like, well, that's the experience I got to see. How the hell could I make a relationship work? That was BS. It was the biggest BS in the world. After my relationship didn't work, and this is only, you know, in my 40s, I went and read every book I possibly could on love. I got a love coach. I interviewed couples that were 60, 70, 80 years old and still in love. And I obsessed and realized it wasn't about finding the perfect soulmate. I had to step up my game. I had to be a better man to attract the right woman, to be a solid human, to be that man when no one's watching. My wife knows the man I am when no one's around. I don't know if I was that guy years ago. But why did I do that? How did I do that? Because I created a new story. My past doesn't dictate my future. You know, I wrote things down. Now is my time. I thrive under pressure. Here's some things I wrote down. Maybe they resonate with you, maybe they don't. I thrive under pressure. I'll dominate in winter. You know, the economy's, who knows, I'm not an economist. But I think we're heading towards winter. And people smarter than me say we are, an economic winter. So instead of saying, wow, winter's coming, I have a new story. I thrive in winter. That's, you know, everybody's scared. I'm going to go skiing. I'm going to thrive in an economic winter. When others want certainty, I want creativity. My creativity will create my certainty. What is your new story, right? Because I'm dyslexic, I'm going to crush this. Because I'm older, I'm going to show my grandchildren how to do this. Because I'm broke, I'm going to make money. Because my spouse doesn't believe in me, I'm going to show them that they married the woman of their dreams. I don't know what your story is, but you need a new one. And when we replace the story, nothing changes on the outside world, but man, everything changes on the inside world. When we change the story, I'm just reading my notes because I don't want to miss anything. When we change the story, we change our lives. I would love for you guys in the chat right now, I'll keep talking. You can put it in your notes. You can put it in the chat. What is one thing that comes to mind for 2022? I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be courageous. Nothing's going to stop me. In diversity, I'm going to thrive. When problems come up, I'll attack them. Give me bigger problems, I'll give you bigger solutions. Because people don't support me, I'm going to make it. Because I don't have money, I'm going to make it. Because I don't have a good example of love, I'm going to be the example for my children. Look at all these amazing comments coming. They're going so fast I can barely read them, right? It's time to be empowered. It's time to unleash my full potential. I'm going to use the gifts God gave me and not let anything stop me from releasing them to the world. I don't know what that new story is, but I'm telling you, the difference between a limiting belief and a positive belief, one that holds you back, a story converted from a negative goes from an anchor to a wind behind your sail. All I know is Miss Thompson calling me dumb in 7th grade. If I ever saw her now, she's probably no longer with us since that was a long time ago. I would thank her for calling me dumb. Just sound it out, Dean. Are you dumb or something? I mean, literally once a week because I couldn't figure it out. At the time, I thought it was the worst thing in the world. I'd go home and cry and not tell my parents why I was crying. Thank you, Miss Thompson. Because I remember by 9th grade saying, I'm going to be so successful, Miss Thompson, you're going to regret, you're going to eat those words. She was part of my journey. She was part of it. She allowed me to turn that negative into a positive. I still have dyslexia. I still can't read a book. I haven't read a book in 20 years. You know that? I physically haven't read a book in 20 years, except for my own when I read The Underdog Advantage. But I listen to a book every month. I do an audio. I do an hour on audio, book on audio every single morning. So I burn through a book, either if it's a 5-hour book, I'll do it in a week, week and a half. But I'm listening to a book every single day of my life. I burn through it. I still can't physically read a book, right? But it doesn't matter because I have a new story. Nobody's going to stop me. I'm a good storyteller. I care about people. I'm enthusiastic. Where I lack in certain intelligence, I make up someplace else. Change your story, change your life. Let me write down, seriously, right now, take the time, write down the story. You guys, could you bring over the whiteboard for me? Write down the story in your journal on the screen right now, the new story for 2022. In fact, let me see some more of them. Let me write them in the chat. Okay. You guys feeling this? Now, I just went over the 4 foundations for lasting success. Number 1, let's look back at the things that went sideways, didn't work in 2021, take the lessons and then burn them to the ground. Leave them there. Make a list of the things that went right in 2021 and how do you add fuel to them and carry them into 2022. Got that part? Ashreen, thank you so much for being awesome. Number 3 is what stories and thoughts or what story has held you back in 2021? So many of you acknowledged it. And then how do we convert that into a new story that's your freaking slingshot into this new year, right? Let's picture everybody's on the starting line for 2022 and someone's got you in a slingshot and is pulling you all the way back. It's go time. Boom. It's going to be fueled by that new story. And you're going to have to look at that new story all the time or as much as you need to look at it. All right. Now, we built all that to get here. Now it's time to really set our goals. Now, you'll go deeper on this, and those of you that have ASF, you'll go even deeper on it. But I want to go through this process, and some of you have, if you're a part of Project Next or part of my family, already have Accelerated Success Formula, you have the deeper version of this, right? But I want to go through this process with you guys right now. I'm going to go over the whiteboard here. I want to go through this process with you now that everything we've done has set up this. And this is where you are now. Okay. So this is the part. This is where you are now. I'll get to why I'm writing on the whiteboard here in a minute. But remember this. All change starts with you being honest. All goals start with you being honest. All dreams that become a reality start with honesty. So, I'm going to go through this kind of quick, and I'd love for you to share in the chat because you're here for lots of reasons today, right? But if I said to you with complete honesty, you're here for a reason. If everything was perfect, you'd be on the beach drinking a margarita or having a Corona right now and ordering some hors d'oeuvres. I don't know, right? You're here because you want to go to another level of life, another level of income, happiness, joy, abundance, health, correct? Is that true? Who in here wants to go to another level in some area of their life, right? And some people just don't raise their hands no matter what, okay? But where are you in your health, right? Put it in the comment. Where are you in your health? Where are you in your relationships and love, intimacy, passion? Where are you with your certainty or uncertainty, right? Where are you with your joy and happiness? Where are you with your income? Where are you in your business? Now, I'm going to go through this process today. I'm going to pick 1 or 2 segments. You can go through this process over and over again in all different areas of your life. This exercise we're going to go through, I do it 4 times a year. So if you've done it with me before, great. I do it 4 times a year. You should too, because it's always changing, always evolving. And how often do we need to see our goals and aspirations and our compelling future in front of us? How often? All the time. That's why people set New Year's resolutions. They write it down. They don't find it till the next year and go, wow, I didn't get any of those. Because you wrote it once. You think it's magically going to happen. We need it in front of our face all the time. Now, if you're completely honest with where you are now, right? It's like our GPS. If we know where we're going to go, we need to know where we're going to start. And it's okay if you have certain jealousy, envy, anger, or maybe compassion. Maybe some of you feel like, I want more, but I should be grateful for what I have. I'm blessed, right? Do you ever meet somebody who goes, yeah, I'm blessed. I should be grateful. Yeah, you should be. We're alive. 150,000 people die every single day. None of you did that I could see you, or if you're on YouTube, we didn't. So we're blessed just to be here that we woke up today, and we have another day to fight the good fight. Of course you're blessed, but it doesn't mean you should be satisfied with where you are. I don't think God, the universe, whoever you believe our creator is like, oh, let's just put them down on earth to live a status quo life. I think we're designed to tap into our full potential. Except at the end, if you don't want one of those videos of the woman or the man you could have been, I think it's our obligation to go all in. So, if you acknowledge where you are right now with honesty, what's the first thing that comes to mind? If you're really honest, right? What's the first thing? And it could be in your health, relationships, income, you know, where are you? Should you be doing your own thing? Should you be making more money? Should you have a deeper connection? Should you be in better shape? Should you feel more happiness or joy? Don't just say, I should be happy. I am blessed. I should be more grateful. I should not feel depressed or sad. I should not have anxiety. Listen, stop beating yourself up. Life doesn't have to be horrible. A lot of those things are just knowing you have more to give and you're not giving it. So it's time to be honest. So where are you? And you know what? If you want to pick one, the most important thing on your mind, let's go through one together and you can go back and do it on others. So where are you maybe in your relationship? Where are you with your business or your career or your income? Okay? So now, if you know where you are, the next thing is, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? You're here and you want to go here. So where do you want to go? What does this look like? Now, again, those of you who've done this with me, let's do it again. Play full out. Because this is the biggest game changer. This exercise is the foundation of everything we taught. This is how we set our goals. Now, here's what I want you to think about. Most of the time, when we set goals, we're looking forward into the future. I want this. I'd like to be making 50 grand a month. I'd like more intimacy, more passion, better shape, better connection with my daughter, better connection with my mom. We're looking into the future. And for me, it is really hard for me to set goals that way. Looking forward is hard because we have so much going on. It's like we have a dust cloud around us, right? This thing, it saves time, but also eats up the time. It allows us to do so many things that we're go, 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 right? If we're going that hard, if we're going that fast, sometimes we can't see our compelling future. We're just happy to get through a day. Who in here in the last month has gotten through a day and your head hit the pillow at night and you're just like, thank God I got through the day? Who's had a day like that in the last couple months? Who's had more than one of those days in the last couple of months? Right? You're just happy to get to the end of the day. Are you really thinking, Gary, are you really thinking about your big term goals? Or are you just glad you got through a damn day? Right? So I want you guys to, I want to give you this hack and I really want you to hear me. This is what I do. This is not just me teaching you. This is my life. And I've been blessed to achieve a lot. And those that I know that follow this process and system can do more than you ever dreamed possible. I promise you can. So instead of looking forward to your goals, I want you to pretend it's a year from now. And we're looking back. And it's the best year of your life. What would have to happen if you pick one category? What would have to happen? Let's just say career. Let's just pick career, income, business. Put in the chat right now, if it was a year from now and it was the best year of your life, what had to happen with your career, your income, or your business to make you go, damn, that was an amazing year? What had to, and if you want to pick intimacy, passion, connection, relationship, you want to pick health, fitness, pick one. Build my mastermind, making $100,000, income of $250,000 a year. I took action. I'm impacting lives. I travel the world. I'm making $50,000 a month. I make $8,000. I tripled my income, took action, lose 500 pounds, helping others. My business took off, signed into Airbnb, hit the top level. Look at all, I can't even read them, they're going so fast. I quit smoking, right? This is how, and I want to give you this, like what I want you guys to do is not just say, it's not thinking about who you're going to be. It's tricking your brain. Hear me on this one. I know you've heard this before. I'm not the first person to ever teach you this. You may have heard it from me, but we're here right now. And maybe you need to hear it right now at this moment so it becomes real. because sometimes you hear it and it still doesn't become a part of your life. The biggest thank you could give me for today's training is make this a part of your life, because your family deserves another level of you, because you know you got it. You know it's in there. Pretend for a moment it is a year from now. We're back here. We're on Zoom. It's January 4th, 2023, and you are on fire. You are celebrating because it happened. It could be any area of your life. You're making 50 grand a month. You're serving other people. You're doing events. You have a course. You lost the weight. You found love, or you're in love. Your husband and you are connected. Your fitness, you feel amazing. You can play with your grandchildren, your children, not be out of breath. Your diabetes is cured naturally. Your husband finally sees the woman that you are on the inside and the outside. I don't know what it is for you, but I don't want you to think it could happen. I want you to pretend for a moment it did, and you're back here and you want to raise your hand. You want me to pick on you so you could say, oh my God, I'm selling 17 courses a week on average. They're $500 each. I'm making $6,000 a week, and I'm impacting people around the world. I'm doing my first live event. Or my husband and I are connected like we were when we first met. My children and I are aligned. I lost 72 pounds, 17 pounds, 7 pounds. I don't know. You can't look to it. You have to trick your mind as if it already happened. If it's a year from now, and it was the best year of your life, what had to happen? You see, I did this exercise and I do this exercise, and there's some things I write down. I want to be more connected to my children, even Brody. I wrote down, I want to be the father that understands. What my grandmother did for me is she grew with me, and she really understood every year. I lived with my grandmother most of my childhood. She understood what it was like to be 13 and have hormones and be all confused. She knew what it was like to be 15. Like, she was with me at every moment. She was the perfect grandma for a 7-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 27-year-old. It was amazing my grandmother did this. How the hell, with a 7th grade education, my grandmother did this? She was amazing. I'm the man I am today because of her. I want to be that for my kids. I was missing the boat a little bit with my son. I don't ever want that to happen. So I always want to be in alignment to the right age that they're at. I'm on Snapchat. I only have 3 people, my wife and my 2 kids. Only way I communicate with my kids is through Snap. I text my daughter, I get nothing. I snap her, 30 seconds, she replies back. I want to evolve and know where they are. I want that to be better and deeper in 2022. I want my wife to feel even more connected to me in 2022. I wrote down that I want to go on a date night a week no matter what happens. I want 2 vacations a year just with my wife. Right? I wrote down the things, and I didn't write them down. I visualized us sitting on a beach and us celebrating. Even my little boy back up in the room, I visualized that. I visualized my son high-fiving me like, Dad, that was cool. I visualize. I know what I want to do in my business. In my personal development business, I want to make sure that everybody has the capabilities. Everybody I can scream to has the capabilities to live into their full potential. We're going to do a launch this year. I know exactly. I visualize that we're going to put 1 million people in our challenge in August. We're going to do something in August. You'll be 1 million people. It'll be free. You'll have the opportunity to be a part of it. I've already visualized that. I already visualized how it's going to feel to watch 1 million people go, I get it. I could be more. I could do more. I've already visualized it. So when I think it, I feel it. I can visualize so much that I get goosebumps on something that hasn't even happened. So the reason I went a little deep on that is because so many of us are looking to our goals of what could happen, and then our brain thinks, yeah, but no one supports you. Yeah, but you don't have money. Yes, but you're an introvert. Yes, you suck on video. And all of a sudden your goals get all clouded, and you don't get to write down your true essence. When you pick yourself up out of those thoughts, you put yourself a year from now and you look backwards and you say, this has already happened. It's a different story. So what I'd love for you to do right now, let's play music for 2 minutes, just lightly. I'm going to keep talking through this. Right now, I want you to write in the chat. I want you to write it on your journal. It's a year from now. It was the best year of your life. And you pick 1, 2, multiple categories. What had to happen? And don't say, I will. Say, I'm making $100,000 a month. I lost the weight. I'm selling courses. I'm doing live events. I wrote my book. I launched my podcast, and there's 10,000 viewers a month. Start writing down as if it already happened and visualize it. Can we put a little music on? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And I really want you to jot this down, write this down, as if it already happened. As if it's a year from now. It's 2023. And I'm going to call your name. And you have to be big old huge smile and be like, wow, Dean, my husband and I are back. We're back to our old selves. I'm back to the weight I feel comfortable with. I can run with my children and my grandchildren. My business is thriving. It's off the ground. I sold my first course. I sell a course a day. I started a mastermind, started a workshop. I wrote an ebook. My business is finally flourishing. I hired my first 2 employees. I want you to be able to tell me and visualize and think that to the point where you see it. And as you write that down, just let it flow. Write as many of them down as you can. If you want to write in here, I'm making $50,000 a month. I moved to Phoenix. Jason, I'll see you when you get here. I worked on my health. I'm selling a course after course. I officially quit my day job. This year has been the best year of my life. John, way to start it. John, let's applaud John. I lost 100 pounds. Again, I'm not losing Donna. I'm not gonna lose 100 pounds. I lost 100 pounds. My desk is clear and it's organized. My course is selling 10 to 15 a month. My online classes is selling every day. My digital product is up and I'm making sales. I'm a paid photographer. All of my yearly goals or my to-do list are handled. My course is up and running and I'm expanding, I'm growing. My family dynamic. I'm making $10 million and helping 1,000 people from human trafficking. Oh my God, I love this. I quit my day job. I'm making $50,000 a month. I'm growing every day. You see, when we trick ourselves, we get to our true goals. Because life will get in the way of who you're supposed to be. Daily tasks will get in the way. You'll start thinking and talking yourself out of it before you even write it down. So when you pretend it's a year from now, and it's the best year of your life, you'll find your true goals. You'll find who you're supposed to be. So write those down. Write as many as you can. Many as you can. You got just 5 more seconds here. My daughter and I love spending time together and we laugh. Oh my God, I love that one. It just filled my heart. My life will never be the same. I hold my first grandchild. My husband and I took a month vacation in St. Martin. My mastermind is up. I've started my mentorship. My husband is taking trips without the kids. I've taken a totally needed vacation. I'm working with Prince William and oh my God, it's going so fast I can't read it. I have a wait list for my clients. I serve people who are unresolved trauma. My social life reflects my regular life. I'm successful in everything, making $40,000 a month. I'm volunteering with children. Oh my God, so many amazing things. You guys are filling my heart. Doesn't it feel good to just let it rip? Doesn't it feel good just to write it down and think through this already happening? You guys are doing it perfect. I mean, it's like, absolutely perfect. It's not like I'm gonna and I hope. It's like, this is what I have. Okay. So the whole point of that exercise is to write. And then you can go back and circle the ones that are most important. And that becomes your true north. That becomes your compelling future. That becomes the thing that you strive for, that you look at every day. Gain the resources, gain the capabilities, learn from those who've already been there, and then take uncomfortable action. Does that make sense? Okay, so if we know where we are, right? If we know where we are, if we know where we are, if we know where we are, and we know where we want to be, it's a year from now, it's the greatest year of our life. We jotted all those down. Now we know where we want to be, but it's like, right, let's go over here for a second, Dylan, right, where we know where we are, and then we wrote down all these wanting to be, whether it's $50,000 a month, or being a better dad, or being connected with my daughter, or taking a trip to St. Martin, all these things, right? Now we're here, we just need to get to here. So what do we have to do to fill this gap to make sure it's a reality, right? We have to fill the gap. So there's a couple things I want you to think of. First off, one of the most important things to get here is just because you want it, just because you write it down, isn't enough. You have to attach an emotion to it. We must attach an emotion to our goals or they never become a reality. Please write that down. We must attach an emotion to our goals or they won't become a reality, okay? So come back over here. So the emotion behind it
is your why. Why do you want it? Now, for those of you that joined Accelerated Success Formula, those of you that have it, we'll go through this process in detail. It's called the 7 Levels Deep. I learned it from a gentleman named Joe Stump. Changed my life 13 years ago, forever. I'll never be the same because of what that man taught me. But it really helps us uncover the emotion behind us wanting to go to another level. You guys are all here for a bigger reason. You didn't come because you have nothing to do on a Tuesday afternoon. You have a why. Why do you want to go from where you are to where you want to be? There's a gap. You want to get there. There's a gap in your relationship, in your health, in your love, in your passion, in your intimacy, in your income, in what you do for a living, your career, the business you started. You're here. There's a gap. But why do you want to do it? And the deeper your why, the more emotionally tied to your heart your why is, the better chance you have of achieving those results. Okay? So I want to go through this. I'm going to go through it kind of quick. Again, in Accelerated Success Formula, we go through it in detail. It's a process that you will do once a year for the rest of your life, and you'll do it with those that you love. I do it with my family. I do it myself. This is not a one and done. This is a forever thing. But when I say why or what's your purpose, you know, that's kind of a, it's been done forever. We say that, but how do you really dig into it? So I want to tell you the story with Joe Stump. He came to my house. I hired him as a consultant to help me in my business. I wanted my students to get even more results. He said, have you ever done the 7 Levels Deep? I said, I don't know what it is. He said, let's do it. I said, just tell me. I'll give it to my students. He goes, no, I want to go through it with you. It's like, okay. So he was $10,000 for a day as a consultant, which was a lot of money, especially back then, 15 years ago. When he gets there, just like I said, why are you here? Who would say you're here because you'd like to make more money? Raise your hand if you'd like to make more money or make more impact on the world. Raise your hand if you'd like to have your relationship on another level, your health on another level, right? That's a why. I'm here because I want my health to be better. I'm here because I'm sick of procrastinating. I'm here because I want to launch my business. I'm here because I want to reach my goals. He said to me, why did you give me 10 grand to be a consultant here? And I remember saying something like, I want to impact more lives. He said, great. So he writes down, I asked you why we're here, and you said you want to impact more lives. Why do you want to impact more lives? Oh, you know, I want to raise the standards of this industry, I remember saying, to a whole nother level. He said, oh, that's a good one. I asked you why you paid me. You want your students to get more results, and you want to raise the standards of this industry. Great. Why do you want to raise the standards of this industry? I remember saying something like, I want to leave a legacy for my kids and expand my business. I don't even know what the next couple were. I was kind of in my head, which most of you are. When I say, why are you here? If the first answer of why you're here, it's usually not the true why. And I want to tell you, this is how I felt it. Kay, I see you shaking your head. When I first got asked, it was like in my head. And then all of a sudden, he got to the 5th time he asked me, oof, everything changed. It went from it was like I felt this physiology. I felt my physiology change. Like I felt it go from my head to go boom and landed in my heart. And he said to me, why, whatever my 4th answer was, he said, why? And I remember I said something I had never said before. I said, I never want to go backwards. Now, I don't know where that came from because it had never come out of my mouth before. But when I said that, I felt an emotion that you couldn't believe. And all of a sudden, these things started flooding into my life. I didn't like my mom working 3 jobs and coming home at 9 o'clock at night. Me and my sister were latchkey kids. We'd come home and do our homework, do the laundry, and probably make dinner. My sister more than me, but make dinner for my mom. Right? I didn't want to go back there. I remember my mom struggling for money. I remember we got evicted from our trailer because my mom couldn't afford it anymore. I remember my mom and dad, they split when I was 3, but they would still fight over money because my dad didn't give enough and all that kind of stuff. I just had all these things flooding into me like, I don't want to go back there. I remember wishing to go to fancy restaurants, wishing we could go on a real vacation. Man, my life is amazing and I have choices. I am not going backwards. I remember this feeling and I remember getting emotional. It's like, I'm not going backwards. I thought I was done. And then he looked at me and said, and I want you to really think, as I'm asking you this, I want you to think through for you. Again, if you have Accelerated Success Formula, we go through this process, you have the forms, you have everything, but this will give you a good teaser of it, right? When he said, well, why don't you want to go backwards? Now I'm in my heart. I got tears filling up in my eyes, and I said something I had never said up to that time. I said, I want my kids to have choices. Now, for those of you who have parents, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not talking about raising 2 entitled brats, or 3 now. The world doesn't need any more entitled children. Can we all agree on that? That's a fact. But I felt as a kid I didn't have choices, and I wanted them to have choices. Now I'm completely emotional. I'm sitting around with his team and my team. I remember where I was sitting outside at this big old table. I literally had tears coming down my face, and I just remember thinking, I want my kids to be able to do what they want and like impact the world, not be lazy, not be entitled, but I want them to have choices. And I remember thinking, that's it. But it wasn't the 6 levels deep. It was the 7 levels deep. And he said, Dean, I asked you, and he repeated all the things I said, and he said, you don't want to go backwards. You want your kids to have choices. Dean, why do you want your kids to have choices? And I remember I said my why for the first time in my life. It still sticks with me. It's 14 years ago. And I still do this exercise every single year. I said I want to be in control of my life. Now, I don't mean a control freak, and everybody's got their own why. This is my why. What came flooding back into my soul and my body at that moment is that I was out of control. I moved 20 times by the time I was 19. I had step-brothers, step-sisters, step-parents, step-mom, step-dad. I had step-grandparents that were so amazing. Leo and Martha Rizzo. They took me hunting and fishing and cooked for me. They were part of my life for like 5 years, but then I was out of control. I had to move in with dad, move in with grandma, move to a different school. I was so out of control as a kid. I had no decision-making. Not that maybe kids shouldn't. This is what landed for me. I decided in that moment that no one is going to tell me what I can do with my time, how I raise my children. I wear a gray t-shirt every day of my life. Why? Because I'm in control of that decision. I live where I want, I go on vacation when I want, and no one tells me I can't. Listen, every day my children are with me. I can't today because I'm with you, but when my kids are with me, every day I pick them up from school. Every day my kids are with me. It's exactly half. I get them a week, they go with their mom for a week. When they're with me, I drive my kids to school every single day. I still make my kids lunches every single morning and still put a little note, even though they're getting so old, they're kind of fed up with it. I do it every day. I take them to school, I drive them to school. I take my kids to every practice. My son plays baseball, my daughter plays softball. Why? Because that car time is priceless. There's no electronics. I learn about their friends. I learn about who they like, what they're doing. I learn about school. I learn about their teachers. No one is ever going to tell me, sorry, we're in the middle of something, you can't go pick up your daughter today. Screw that. I will chew through a brick wall. I will melt steel. There is no one going to take that control away from me. I live the way I want. I dress the way I want. I raise my children the way I want. I date my wife the way I want. And no one's going to take, and that is so powerful for me that I would die for that. I would literally die to be the father and the husband and the leader and the team leader I want to be. That why is so ingrained in my heart that nothing can stop me. Now, what is your why? You got to go through this process. I don't know if it affected you today. It might not be in your heart right now. But I want to tell you, this is the biggest game changer. I used to do this exercise on stage for about 5 years straight. Every month, we had a big old event in Las Vegas. I would fly down there, and I would pick people to come on stage. And I just remember this story. And again, those of you that already have Accelerated Success Formula, you know I tell this story and others to really anchor it in. But this gentleman comes up on stage. Cool, good-looking dude, probably like 6'5", dreadlocks, just so cool, so good-looking. Guy comes up on stage, I call him up, and I used to call someone up every month, and I'd go through this process with them live. So I call him up, and he raises his hand. I'm like, come on up. There's hundreds and hundreds of people in the audience. I sit him down, and I said, let's get to your why. He's like, you called on me, Dean. I already know my why. I'm like, oh, crap. Because the transformation is usually huge. People get to see the transformation through someone else. And I'm like, damn. He's like, I already know my why. I'm like, all right, so why are you here? He's like, because I need to make more money. I know I need to get my head straight. I need to make more money because in my neighborhood where I grew up as a kid, he said, there's not enough dads. There's hardly any dads. I didn't have a dad, and it's still the same way in that neighborhood. So I built this charitable arm where he had dads. How cool is this? Dads going into this program on weekends and adopting a kid for just hours at a time, like Big Brother probably, but his own thing. And he was doing it in his community. It was so beautiful, guys, so beautiful. And he was smiling. He's like, I know my why, and that's a good one, right? That's a good one. And I said, I'm gonna just keep going. There's got to be something deeper. It's got to be something deeper for those tough days. When things go sideways, and they're gonna, you need a why so strong that it, when people say they need a time management program, you don't need time management. You need a stronger why. Hear me on that. You don't need time management. You don't need to be younger. You don't need to be older. You don't need tech to be easier. You need a strong enough why that gets your ass out of the seat, and you take the uncomfortable action and you boldly move forward even though you're scared to death. And your why will do that. Hear me on that. When I have a tough day, I don't say, I want to make another $1 million. I go, my kids deserve choices. I am not going backwards, and no one's going to control my life. Boom, I do the things even if I don't want to. So this guy comes up on stage, awesome. He tells me that. I ask him why. I don't know if it was the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. I get to a moment, and I realized I got him. He didn't have his why figured out. He thought he did. I said, why do you want, whatever he said, I said, why do you want to do that? And I watched him go from this to this. And all of a sudden, tears start coming down his face. And I was so happy that he would be so open. And he said, wow, you got me, Dean. He said, when my mom was alive, I was a drug addict. She raised me as a single mom with nothing. She taught me better than that. She got me to go to college. She did all these things for me. She sacrificed her life for me. And at the time she died, I was doing drugs. And he said, the moment she passed away, I have not done a drug since. And I'm going to make my mom proud in heaven. And I say that to this day. I can get emotional thinking about it because I felt his emotion. And I felt that why. And I'm not trying to make people cry. I'm trying to get you so in your heart for him. He's going to face hard days. People are going to tell him he's crazy. He's going to feel like an imposter on the inside. And those are the days you need to pull this emotion. If he says, well, I just want to create this charity. Well, the grant didn't come through. I don't think I can. When he looks up to the sky and says, I'm going to make that woman proud, you think someone who turns down his loan is going to stop him? Or someone saying you can't meet at this hall is going to stop him? Nothing will stop him. When I look at my children and say I'm going to do what I want when I want to do it with them, do you think anything could get in my way? A bulldozer couldn't stop me. So, go back to the whiteboard. If we know where we are, and then we know where we want to go, if we do the emotion of why, then nothing can stop us. When I said this before, I really want you to hear me. When I said this before about a strong enough why can make you unstoppable, I meant it. When I said you don't need a time management program, you don't need an anti-procrastination program, you don't need to be younger, you don't need to be older, you don't need to do less tech. You need a why so strong that your resourcefulness, hear these words, your why is so strong that your resourcefulness is a 10 out of 10. Because when you have a strong enough desire, you could figure out anything. Is that true? Is that true? Let me hear it. Is that true? Say it in the chat if that's true, right? So if you know where you are and where you want to go, and then you attach an emotion to it, damn, we're almost there. We're almost there. The next thing, I added a couple quick things I want to share with you in here. The fourth one, I want you to have a mantra or an incantation that is your 2022 calling cry. It is your battle cry for 2022. Now, you don't have to figure it out now, but I would love for you to figure this out. And I wrote down some simple ones because I would say, I told you I went broke. And it was probably 20 years ago that I made a big shift in my life. And I went from being in the collision business and the auto sales business and apartments and real estate into the self-education industry, what I'm in now. And in that transition, it was difficult. It was before the internet. So I had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for an infomercial. And I had to put product in a warehouse. It's not like today's world where we're all connected online. Look what we're doing right now. Those things didn't exist. You want to do a live event, you had to spend the money, get an event. You want to sell a course, you had to create a $200,000 infomercial and buy media and all this stuff. And man, I was burning up all the money I had, and it was just in a tough spot. And then the money I did have, I had an accountant at the time. The guy was 55 years old. Wow, the same age I'm almost now. Never gambled a day in his life. The guy started gambling, lost all his wife's money, went into my account to borrow money to go gamble to get it back, and without knowing, he burned up all the money I had. So now we hit a little hiccup. I go to the reserve money, it's all gone. And he hadn't paid bills for a couple months. Like, I just happened to meet a guy at 55 who things went sideways in his life. And I remember, like, there's no way I can get through this. And I started telling myself really shitty stories. And I remember feeling like, what am I going to do? And I'm going to look like a failure. And everybody who told me I was crazy for going in the self-education industry was right. And all these kind of things. Man, thank God for Tony Robbins. Thank God for courses and getting in my mindset in the right place. And I remember going through all these processes I'm sharing with you today. But one thing that really helped me is I remember taking a walk. And I got this mantra in my head. And if I said, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. And I remember, excuse my language, I only swore once today. My mantra was, if I can get through this shit, I can get through anything. I'll leave the S word out for the rest of it, but that's what I was saying to myself. And I remember just walking every day. The gym was like 2 miles from my house, and I'd walk to the gym. And as crazy as this sounds, I remember thinking, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. If I can get through this, I can get through anything. And I said it over and over. Like literally, I'm walking down the street, and I remember cars passing me. I had earbuds in, and I'm just repeating this. Probably people probably thought I absolutely lost my mind. But I remember thinking, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. And I just said it over and over. I would love for you to come up with a mantra for this year. Maybe it's, if not now, when? If not me, who? If not this, what? If not now, when? If not me, who? If not this, what? Say it when you're alone. Say it to yourself. Say it out loud. Go take a walk. But when you say it to the world, it comes back and it gives you this visceral feeling that it's hard to explain. This is my year because I'm going to be the man or the woman God meant me to be. This is the year I tap into my full potential. This is the year I make no excuses. I don't know what yours is, but I'm going to encourage you to find a simple one. That when you're having those tough days, you go back to your why. You let your why sink into your heart, that emotion. And then you repeat your mantra. Get yourself back on track. Let me, honestly, right now, if I was going to judge your state, if 0 is lethargic, tired, defeated, I can't do this, life sucks, and 10 is, I got this, I'm doing it, I feel it. Right now, your state, on a 1 to 10, where are you right now? 15, 20, 100, thank you, 10 million, 100 million, intense. All, like, look at this, we had 1, 5. Sorry, we'll get to you, right? 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 23, right? These are, I want to get you back to this state because this is the state where anything is possible. This is the state where you go, I got this. Hand the problems over to me. You can't handle it? I got it. This is the state where you're bold. This is the state where I do it. I see you, Butch Phillips, right? This is the state we want to live in. So what are the things what can we do to get us back in this state when we're having a tough day? Right? That's what we have to think. So come back over here. So if we know where we are with honesty, we know where we want to go, pretending it's a year from now, it was the best year of our life, we write it down like crazy, that's where we want to go. If we know where we are and we know where we want to go, we have this gap that we have to fill. Before we get the capabilities to fill the gap, what do we need to do? We need to get into our hearts. We need to get into our emotion. And we need to create a why so deep. You know, one of my students said once, if your why doesn't make you cry, you didn't go deep enough. And I'm not trying to say that, but you need a why that when you think about, you either get tears or goosebumps. And if you're not there, you got to go through the process. You got to go through I went through it quick today, but you got to go through the real process of the 7 levels deep. So you're so in line with it, so you're so connected to it, that when you're having a tough day, when stuff goes sideways, because it will, when people don't believe in you because they won't, when every sign points that it's not going to work, that you're not going to accomplish it, you need to go back to this why and go, I don't care. Listen, you can't look at success through odds. You don't have the odds of being happy, healthy, wealthy. Who cares about odds? You throw the odds out. You have a compelling enough why, nothing can stop you. So if you know where you are, and you know where you want to go, and you know there's a gap, you would fill it with an emotion, and then come up with your yearly mantra, your incantation for the year. You know, it could be simple. If not now, when? I want to be the woman God designed me to be, and this is my year. Just come up with something no one has to know. You don't have to tell anyone else. You're having a tough day, go take a walk and say it to yourself. I'm telling you, the more you say it, the louder you say it, the more you put it out to the universe, you feel it in your body and you become alive. I see you, Sheila, right? You become alive, and that's what we need to fight this good fight, especially in a time where things are a little crazy in the outside world. Look at all these great incantations and mantras coming. So if you know where you are and you know where you want to go, you attach an emotion, you get your mantra. The last piece, that's good, Mike. The last piece is how are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? Right? Let's go back to the whiteboard for a second. This is the gap, right? And we just need the pieces to fill the void. So as you're setting goals, if you want to make them a reality, right? We had the vision. It was a year from now. It was the best year of our life. That's our goals. We got an emotion attached to it. That's why I want to do it. Now, how am I going to get there? That's where you need to decide what's missing. If it's in business, so many of you are with us in Project Next, go back into the course. Get a coach. Get a mentor, right? Go back through it. Set goals that stick. Look at my goals every day. Some of you need the accelerated success formula. That's the gap to make sure you have the right mindset that becomes bulletproof. Maybe you need to get a mentor. Maybe you need to work with somebody. Maybe you need to get a gym membership. Maybe you need a love coach. Maybe you need to go counseling. Maybe you need someone to help you figure out how to do meals. Maybe you got to find a course to get better at the meals that you make, or get a course to find your soul again. I don't know what capabilities you need, but this is the how. Because listen, your best thinking got you here. Your best capabilities got you here. That's not a bad thing. My unfair advantage is that I've spent over $1 million on courses and masterminds and workshops, either attending them or creating them in my life. When I want to learn something, and this is the evolution I want to share with you guys today. I set it up earlier, but this is the part that's really important. When I have a gap in my life, I told you the gap in my relationship, I told you my gap in a business, my gap in health. When I want to get from here to here, the first thing that comes to mind is how. And I want to get the capabilities, hear me, remember the most costly advice in the world is learning from someone that's not qualified to teach you. Bad advice is the most costly advice. So you want to learn the how and the capabilities from someone who's already done it. But this has evolved in my head. See, when I think of how to go from here to here, and I attach my emotion, I've evolved that to who. Here, come back over here. Think about that. Who has already done it? Who has lost the weight? Who has fixed the relationship? Who has launched courses online that knows how to do it? Who has the mindset strategy so I don't get lost in 2022? Who has the mindset strategy where I could stay anchored, stay in this state, build my confidence, and become unstoppable? Feed the inner hero, not feed the inner villain. Who has done that? And when I look through the lens of who, it takes away the anxiety. I just want to find who's already been there, gain their capabilities, and then take uncomfortable action. So today, as we've taken this whole journey together, what I want to share with you is when you know where you are with honesty, when you know where you want to go, you have a compelling future. And you should stare at that every day. And then you must do something most people don't. You got to get into your heart. And you got to attach an emotion to it on why you want it. Something so strong that it doesn't allow you to give up. You become resourceful. And then the last piece is you need the how. What are the capabilities you need to take you to bridge the gap, to go from where you are to where you want to be, and then you must take the uncomfortable action to make it real. Nobody's going to do it for us. Remember some of the things earlier? No one's coming to save us. Guys, this is why I love what I do. This is what gets me up every day. I don't feel like I don't work for a living. I get to impact others. It's the greatest thing in the history of the world. And I'm so glad you're here. So here's what we're going to do. In a moment here, we're going to give away the Peloton and some other stuff. But I would love one more time, and we'll take a quick little break here, and then I'll come back and give away the Peloton and some other cool surprises. We're going to give away some other cool things too. But I want to give you the opportunity to continue this journey with me, to not let this be the end of 3 hours, to be the beginning of you being a part of our accelerated success formula. And I'd love to be with you for the next 4 weeks as we go through and keep you accountable to put these pieces in place so it becomes a part of your life. I don't want just inspiration. Listen, the way I look at making opportunities and offers, I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't give you the opportunity to continue and anchor this in. You guys said you were a 10 out of 10. Let's stay a 10 out of 10. Will you slip? Will you have tough days? Hell yes. Will things go wrong? Absolutely. But if you have a mechanism, a family that you're a part of, a program you can come back to, then I serve you in even a greater way. So I know we had a bunch of questions come in. I want to share this one more time in 3 minutes. Pull this slide up. Today, the special offer we do in January, this is our brand new course. I created this last year, the Accelerated Success Formula. We call it the 4 steps of the pyramid to the success that you want. It is 7 modules long. If you loved what we taught today, that's 3 hours. This course is 7 modules of what we taught, but deeper and so much more. So you can have the courage, the confidence, the state of mind to unleash the full potential that you have living inside of you, to unleash the inner hero, not let the inner villain be in charge, and how to create a story so compelling that you live into the life you're supposed to live. This is a course that if it sold for $5,000, it'd be worth it. But we also added some bonuses for this January training. Again, we do this once a year. We did it last year. It was such a hit. We're doing it again this year. And I know there's like 2,000 of you that already have it. So if you have the Accelerated Success Formula, tell everybody what you think of it, the honest truth. We're going to give you productivity mastery. I love this training. This will show you how to get time back in your life, how to prioritize on the needle movers, and how to stop with the wasted time in your life. You're going to love this training. You have instant access to it. You have the art of persuasion. How do you sell through service? How to sell without ever selling? How to convince people, only if it's ethical, to take the action, to learn from you, to buy from you, and do it in a way that you can feel proud of. You're going to love this training. That's bonus number 2. The 8 things to shift your business and life. This was just a training that people went nuts for. It was part of a paid program that I did. We included that. You'll absolutely love this. You'll have access to this forever in your library. Also, I journal in a way that's changed my life forever. I share how I journal. It's a great little quick training. You will use this for the rest of your life. This is a value of $1,385. Today, you guys have the opportunity to not get it for $497, but for $297 at asfcourse.com, or you can click the link below. If you're on YouTube, you'll have to go to asfcourse.com. You get it for $297 today. And then, of course, it comes with an unconditional money-back guarantee. But then we did this. What I shared earlier, those of you I shared with Project Next, can you see the value of trading for the next 4 weeks to anchor this in, right? We did it with our last course, Project Next, and it was the most successful class we'd ever had in our lives. It was live, it was interactive, you got your questions answered. If you were stuck on something, we helped you through it. More than anything, we kept you accountable because you're going to show up with everybody else, and if you didn't do your homework, you're kind of like, but it's not strong. It's not homework that's overwhelming. It's homework that anchors this in so you could stay in this state, stay confident. So that training literally starts in a couple of days. So that's why this has a timeline. If you'd love to get enrolled, now is the time. We'll include you, especially they're live and this training starts. So that's why there's a deadline. We just had a little power outage. We're still good? You still on? All right, we're still on. This training starts, I think it starts literally next Monday or Tuesday. It starts. So that's why there's a timeline. That's why this has a time limit. This is a special price. These are special bonuses. And in a month from now, we're doing a training on how to scale your online business. If you're not in an online business, you're still going to want to learn this. It's an amazing one-day training. You will get a VIP pass you don't have to pay for. Guys, this is truly a 3,000 plus value in January. This is our special to start the new year off right. If you don't want this to be the end, you want to be the beginning of working together, having this course, having it forever. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Go to asfcourse.com. Get enrolled right now. Go to asfcourse.com. Get all the bonuses before this goes away. If you want, pick the 4-pay. That's fine too. You get instant access to all of it. We'll take a 5-minute break while you enroll. When we come back, we'll give away the Peloton. Got a couple other surprises. And then we'll end in a really strong way, ready to crush 2022. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Hey guys, well, first off, congratulations for all of you that are all in with ASF. If you're in ASF, say I'm all in or I'm in. Thank you for having faith in us. Listen, as you can probably tell, I feel I'm doing people a disservice if I don't deliver massive value and then show you how we can keep this energy going, keep this alive. When I share with you to go through where are you and where you want to go, look at all the all-ins. Congratulations, amazing. When I share with you where are you, where you want to go, and then I go through the emotion of why, please use that in all areas of your life. And then when we get to the how, the capabilities, listen, I really want you to hear this. It works with everything, right? I really believe for you to stay in this mindset, to have the confidence to move forward, to crush 2022 in all areas of your life, that how, one of those tools is the Accelerated Success Formula. That's why I offered it today. That's the bridge. But I want you to look through that lens with all areas of your life. If you're here with your relationship and you want to get to here with your relationship and the why is important to keep your family together or to find intimacy, to find passion, then go out and find the who, find the why, find the counselor, find the course, go interview people. That is the easiest formula for success on the planet. I'm here. I want to be here. This is why I want it. Who can help me get there? Does that make sense? Steph, I see you shaking your head, right? It's like, if you look through that lens all the time, then you will be looking for the how and the who wherever you go. Sounds like we're in a book here, right? Dr. Seuss. But you're looking for the how and the who. And for those of you that felt today and felt my who I am, how I teach, what I deliver, if you're ready to get the mindset, the success habits, and be able to crush 2022, then that how, I believe, is the Accelerated Success Formula. We've had so many of you take advantage of that. Remember, a couple questions come in before I give away the grand prize winner of the Peloton. Just a couple quick questions. Yes, the course is delivered immediately. If you guys go to asfcourse.com, you get it immediately. All the bonuses are immediate as well, except for the live training. The live training is recorded. If you can't make the exact date, they're given back to just you guys who are a part of this. So they'll be recorded. I asked when they start. It starts next Monday. Next Monday, 6 days from today, is our first weekly training to really anchor this in. So we'll be together. So many of you will be together next Monday. Those of you in VIP today, don't forget to stick around. We're going to do a little special Q&A at the end here. And that's it. Guys, the only thing I'll share, I love the quote from Einstein, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If you're ready for different results in 2022, you must do things different than you did in 2021. Can we agree on that? Your best thinking, your best beliefs got you here. It's time to upgrade those beliefs, upgrade your state of mind, upgrade your capabilities. And again, those of you who got enrolled, I believe ASF can really help you get there. All right, you guys ready for the winner of the Peloton? Okay, the winner of the Peloton, my team picked you for playing full out. We had so many great people. We also have some additional winners from YouTube. Cody Strickland and Shanti Williams, you guys are getting the $150 gift card from before. But the grand prize winner of the Peloton bike is Barry Newman. Barry Newman, everyone. Give it up for Barry Newman! Give it up for Barry in the chat. Barry, our team will reach out to you. We'll get your address. They'll order the bike. They'll get it shipped. I have one. They're absolutely amazing. You're going to absolutely adore it. Thank you for playing full out. Everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of setting our New Year's resolutions, setting it away, setting our goals that stick. I hope you had an amazing time. And for those of you who are part of ASF, look forward to continuing this journey. And those of you who are already in my family, we'll see you on a weekly basis. I appreciate you all. Having a most amazing 2022. Oh, for those of you in VIP, stick around. You got about 5 minutes. Go enroll in ASF. I'll see you in VIP in 5 minutes. See you, everybody.